Welcome to Atlanta Motor Speedway qualifying underway for the Sidecar Sunday Series presented by Evers Fever Podcast. You see the 22 of Mike Christopher out there. It's a Gen 6 Cup League every Sunday all year long in 2025. Race number 2, the Atlanta 300, 200 laps around Atlanta Motor Speedway. Drivers have 10 minutes to set their best lap time. If we get more than 40 cars, we'll have knockout qualifying. Right now, last check, we were sitting at 38 cars. Open qualifying going to be very important if we do get more than those 38 cars. Right now, Ethan Evers, I think, was our 38th car into the lobby. 18 of Travis Scripture smacks the wall there. I think that's going to kill both his qualifying laps. Currently 13 cars have set an official lap. Dalton Hayes gets a lap in, goes to 8th. Josh Mayu in 9th. See Carl Rotman heading to the pit lane. He's currently sitting 3rd. John Neckrich in the number 6 Wanagoon Chevy. Currently in that 4th spot. Josh Mayo's second lap for that 61 car goes up to the top of the charts. Nice effort there. And of course, as soon as we get over to him, they disappear. Always the way. Joe Madigan goes to the top of the boards. There we go. 76 orange, white, and yellow machine. Goes to the top of the charts. Hayden Lowell, teammate, goes P2 in the Napa Chevy. And Ryan Honeycutt, another Madigan Motorsports machine, goes and splits the difference right between them. Good effort out of the 51. Make sure he's definitely in the race. That's one of our open cars. Dean Thompson. Yes, that Dean Thompson goes to P2. The Furniture Row Toyota. Dean getting a good lap in there. He's locked himself into the field, whether or not we get that many cars where it matters. Ethan Evers out on track, number 8. That's his GHR machine screaming down the backstretch here at Atlanta. We also have Mark Dingman, number 82 New Balance car. He's on his warm-up lap, getting ready to start his time lap. Race 82, Cliff Mullins out on track. Last week's winner. Picked up $500 for winning the Daytona 500 last week. He was all jazzed up about that. I don't think he's stopped watching the replay on YouTube since that day. He clocks in 15th. T-Mart, the Ghost Man, Travis Martin, clocks in his number 63 Mustang in the 6th spot. Good effort there. Rockton Packard qualifies the number 36 Chevrolet, the 11th spot. I see Niner down the side. I'm wondering if that's a Charlotte 49ers car. Kind of gives me those vibes, right colors. Kenny Frisbee clocks in his second lap to the 8th spot. Still 38 cars here with 5 minutes to go. So right now, everyone makes the race. At the old layout of Atlanta. Back in the good old days when tires were burnt off, you slip slide everywhere. Track treated the tires like it was a cheese grater, just shredded them. Carson Bechtel out there on his 2 laps here. This is his first timed lap. Gets it right down to the bottom. Wanagoon's Toyota comes out of turn number 4. First lap, 30.57. Just move him up into the 21st position. See if he picks up on lap number 2 like most drivers have. Mike Chris, surprisingly bad qualifying effort, down to 29th. I think he messed up his second lap a little bit. The 22 car starting deep in the field. And here the 59 downshifting. He's a one and done. That's going to do it for Bechtel. We'll watch Lucas Heusman in the 4. Still 38 cars here. What's up, Dakota? Welcome in, my friend. Yes, TJ, the trucks. He did win the trucks. That's better than nothing. A win is a win. You take them when you get them. Lucas first lap, 24th quick. We'll see if he's able to find the magic on lap number 2 and put down a heater. Running the old Kevin Harvick Bush Apple scheme. One of my favorites. Brings his Mustang out of 4. And Lucas puts in 30.459. Moves him all the way up to 8th. I think Mike Edwards out on track. Might be our last qualifier. Don't see the 77, 79, 18, or 07 making a move towards the track, so Edwards could be our last qualifier. And then we'll have a lot of time to talk to Joseph Madigan about how good he is, since he is sitting on the pole right now. This will be our 34th car to put down a lap time. Hit Giglio 6 and 18th. A lot of drivers not here tonight. Good opportunity for all the open cars that wanted to run tonight. Clapper New will ask for me to put a provisional in for him. What's up, Cody? Hello, my friend. Edwards first lap, 30.932. 32nd overall. Clearly using that first lap as kind of a throwaway to get some speed on lap 2. See what he can do in the Golden Eagle Mustang. Down the back stretch and into 3. Kind of uses a late apex. Out he comes towards the start-finish line. See what he can do on a second lap. Keeps it nice and tight around that bottom and a 30.567. Probably back part of the top 20. Just outside the top 20. 22nd. 22nd for the number 14. And I believe that's going to be all of our qualifiers. There is still time for Taylor Friday, Dave Hoytsma, Travis Scripture, and Philip Schmitz to get out there. So we'll keep an eye on the track just in case they do. Actually, it looks like Travis Scripture tried to qualify and didn't get a lap time to count. So just Friday, Hoytsma and Schmitz could still go out there and set a time. We're going to go track down Joseph Madigan, see if we can have a quick chat with our current pole sitter. Give us something to do for the next 90 seconds. Oh yeah, there he is. Madigan Motorsports, huge party over there. I'm going to grab Joseph Madigan out of there. Joseph, DG, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. What's up?
Not a whole lot. Looks like for now you're going to be the pole sitter. Could be a couple other cars sneaking in the next minute, but I doubt it. So we're going to go ahead and call you the pole sitter for now. How'd you get it done out here at Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, it felt like a pretty solid lap. Got tight in 3 and 4, but apparently that's been a common thing with everyone that I've talked to. A lot of cheesing going on, so I guess whoever is the cheesiest gets it done, and I felt like I did pretty good. So yeah, hopefully that we can, keep that pace in the race, and her having that first pit stall will definitely help us. But yeah, we'll see. It's a long race, 200 laps.
That it is. 200 laps around this track that likes to just absolutely destroy his tires. You get 7 sets in the pits plus the one you start on. What's the strategy? You go take them every 25 or try to save some towards the end?
We'll see. I'm not sure how the race is going to play out, and I still haven't done the math in my head yet about how we're going to. I don't know what the stages are at either. So
just 1.5 way, and it's no caution. So
just 1.5 way. Okay,
yep.
Perfect. All right, so we'll see what my brain comes up with, and I guess you'll see the on track product.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Joseph Madigan in the 76, our pole sitter for tonight's Atlanta 300. 200 laps around this 1.5 mile track. Should be a good one. It's the old Atlanta with a nice slippery, slidey surface, and the tires wear out very quickly. Tires are going to be at a premium. They get 8 sets total tonight, and we'll see how that all plays out. I believe we have 38 officially in this race, and we do. So nobody going home. Everyone that wanted to race tonight is coming out here to race. That makes it nice and easy. What's the name? What name are we talking about there? Jay King? How are you, by the way? Welcome in. And letting our drivers grid up out there on the racetrack. Hopefully they'll all get out there so we can run through our starting lineup. That's not really what we want. There's a beautiful display of someone's right rear. For some reason, I'm not seeing a rear chase for these cars. I wonder if this will work. That'll work for now. All right, a lot of cars to run through. Let's do this. Starting lineup presented by our friends at the Wanted Goons. Jay King, check our Discord. It is discord.gg/Sidewinder. We got Joseph Madigan in the 76 on pole in that Mountain Dew kickstart machine. Dean Thompson, yes, that Dean Thompson from the number 26 Xfinity ride starts outside in the 78 Furniture Road Toyota. Thomas Green will start in the 3rd spot, and then number 3 Goodrich Service Chevrolet. Ryan Honeycutt will start his all-black Mustang in that 4th spot. And we got Hayden Lowell. Let's see if we can find a better shot. These cars deserve a little bit better shot. We're going to try. There's nothing great. Just see, it's the back of the car, but it's better than nothing, yeah. Right, Honeycutt, there's the plain Mustang. Hayden Law, that Napa 56, he'll start in the 5th spot. Cody Brown, number 17, Sundrop Chevrolet, he'll start in that 6th spot. Travis Martin, the 63 Ford, starts in the 7th spot. Lucas Heusman, that Busch Apple, number 4, Red Machine, starts in 8th. Josh Mayo in the 61 starts his Chevrolet in 9th. Kenny Frisbee, his Chevrolet in the 10th spot. Dawson Cram has his Chevrolet rolling off in the 11th spot. Carl Rotman 12th in the number 25. Casey Graves, the True Speed Toyota, starts in the 13th spot. Then you have Brockton Packard, new to the series, in the Niner machine, starting in 14th. John Neckrich has his Wannagoon Chevy in 15th. Ian Montrose has the DoorDash Camry in 16th. Davis Greenwell starts 17th in the number 20 Chevy. Blake Giglio has the number 26 Toyota starting in the 18th spot. Cliff Mullins has his 37 car starting 19th. And Andrew Beach starts the 81 in 20th. Mark Dingman, the New Balance Chevy in 21st. Mike Edwards has his number 14 car in 22nd. Garrett Warren starts 23rd in the Columbia Toyota. Carson Bechtel in his bright yellow, Carson's yellow, number 59 Toyota starts 24th. Levi Heilman, 55 Ford, starts in 25th. Dalton Hayes has his Do SA Chevy starting 26th. Ethan Evers starts 27th. Jeremy Scherer 28th. Quinn Newton will roll off 29th, and Derek Forrest in 30th. Brian Martin 31st. Mike Chris 32nd. Daniel Llewellyn 33rd. Russell Harold 34th. Taylor Friday 35th. Travis Scripture 36th. Dave Hoytsma 37th. And I don't see Philip Schmitz out on the racetrack. There he is, a little bit further back from the field. Catching up to the pack now. Field rolls into turn number 3. Thanks once again to the Wannagoons for sponsoring our starting lineup. Appreciate the heck out of them putting on our starting lineups for everybody. We've made it through the field. Joe Madigan and Dean Thompson on the front row. Madigan Motorsports teammates. Here goes the pace car down the pit lane. Waiting for the green for 200 laps here at Atlanta. Green flag is out, and here we go. Madigan and Thompson, your front row. Field of 38 cars storm off towards turn number 1. So far, nice and clean on the start. Thomas Green kind of take over second spot here. Inside line, usually pretty good through 1 and 2 on the restarts. Oh, Cody Brown gets turned to the outside wall, and the Sundrop machine hugging against the wall, trying not to hurt anybody. Looks like Cody Brown's going to drop down to the tail of the field. Everyone able to avoid him. Check in on the 17, and caution does come out. That's why. The second wreck. Good gracious. Dave Hoytsma's in it. And 81, Andrew Beach. Let's see what happened in this secondary incident. Oh, Beach goes down the hill right into, it looks like Mark Dingman, then back up into the 55, Levi Heilman. Ethan Evers gets collected. B-Roy does a nice job to avoid the 8 car. The 2 gets into it. 79 gets turned late by the 19. You wreck in the back part of the field. Oh, chaotic back there. Let's see if there's any contact. No, he just lost it on his own. Going into turn number 3, the 81 Andrew Beach lost the back end, started getting loose, traveled down the hill, and collected other cars. And that is going to be the 81 picking up an incident point there for the season. Tough break for Beach. I heard him say in chat earlier he wasn't looking forward to this very much, just wanted to get it over with. And unfortunately, Beach caught out early here. Lap number 2, the 81 goes around. Cool paint scheme. Didn't help him out with having any traction in the rear end there. Back up front. Quickly under caution. Joe Madigan, Thomas Green, Dean Thompson, Hayden Lowell, and Ryan Honeycutt, your top 5. Lucas Weisser, Travis Martin, Dawson Cram, Kenny Frisbee, and Casey Graves rounding out the top 10. Let's see if we can have a chat with, well, Thomas Green. He looks lonely. Thomas, DG, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, we used that inside line on the first start to get an advantage and pick up the second spot. Now you're going to be stuck on the outside here. What's your strategy to try to hold on to second?
I don't think I'm trying to maintain second. I think I'm trying to get that clean air and go for the lead. That outside groove early really has an advantage, but it can burn your stuff up, so you got to be careful. But I think if you use it early enough and try to get some clean air, it can possibly translate to getting a pass done. But obviously, managing tires is going to be important. So if it doesn't work on the first time, yeah.
No, get out of here.
Yeah, if it doesn't work on the first time, I'll probably just settle.
All right, so you're going to take one shot to go for the lead here, and if it doesn't work out, you're going to try to save tire.
Most likely, yes. But I'm known to not stick to my word, so we'll see.
Fair enough. Sometimes that adrenaline takes over, and you're just like, I'm going to lead, and I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
And then about 10 laps later, you hate yourself.
Yeah, I'll regret it.
All right, man. Good luck. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, man.
Thomas Green at that number 3 Goodrich machine. Heard him say he'll try to go for the lead here. Doesn't want to settle into second and save tire. He's going to try to go for it. If he doesn't get it, he said he would then maybe settle. He seemed very non-committal to that plan. Let's see if we can have a chat with Hayden. Hayden, DG, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Swiss.
Well, you're not used to seeing so many cars ahead of you. You got 3 cars in front of you. At least you've survived lap 1 tonight. That's better than most of the week, so props on that.
Yeah, we made it past lap 1. That's a good start. Good start.
All right, well, the tires, obviously a big factor at Atlanta. You're starting on the outside line where you burn them up quicker. Are you going to try to get to the bottom, or are you going to try to push out front and then get to the bottom?
Yeah, I'm going to try to get to the bottom here real quick. Surrounded by some teammates. Joseph, Dean, Ryan up here too. Hopefully we can get to the bottom, kind of work some things out, and just ride around for a while and see if we can get up to the front later on tires.
10-4, good luck to you.
Thank you, Swiss.
Hayden Law riding 4th, giving us a quick chat as well. Nice to have our drivers in the Discord letting us chat with them as we go along. Coming out of turn number 4. Pace car is going to drop down the pit lane. We get set for the restart. Hopefully we can get this green flag run going here. Green flag back out in the air. You see the 56 drop into the bottom immediately. 78, Dean Thompson goes to the top. He had an idea of going for the lead, but all it's going to do is let Ryan Honeycutt to his inside. And the 3 car, Thomas Green, said he was going to go for the lead. He's dropped to 5th already. Didn't work out for Thomas. And Lucas Hoyce was sitting there, the red car. Got the Bush Apple scheme for Harvick this week here. Now we're peaking 3 wide. Thomas Green looking in the middle. Inside Dean Thompson. Hayden Lowell was on the bottom. I think Hayden bailed out on it a little bit, but he's still 3 wide, but with Lucas now. Thomas Green gets back to 3rd. Dean Thompson on the outside lane, falling back a little bit. Trying to tell who that is beside him. Might be Dawson Cram. A wrongly numbered car. I think it is. The 77 is actually the 41 on your scoreboard. Dawson Cram. Another one of our Madigan Motorsports machines up into this top 10. Thomas Green takes over 2nd. Tucks in behind the 76 of Madigan as he got by Ryan Honeycutt. Now he's going to pop to the outside. Dumps a bunch of air on the rear spoiler with the side draft, and he's trying to pull the 76 back and get clear for the lead, and he does it. Then Ryan Honeycutt immediately to the bottom, tries to get inside Thomas. Thomas, having none of it, drives it into the corner deep. Burns up a little bit extra tire, but he's going to try and hang on to the lead here for a little bit. Told him the clean air is what he was looking for, and Thomas Green, former Xfinity Series champ, out into the front. Dean Thompson tucks in behind Ryan Honeycutt. Dean leading the outside line with Dawson Cram. Lucas Hoyce on the inside. Bush Apple Harvick paint scheme, trying to take over 3rd. Someone in the wall back there. Trying to see who's dropping down the order. I think it was Mark Dingman in the 82 New Balance machine. Caught a bit of the outside wall coming out of 2, lost some momentum. Popped up about 10 spots. See a bit of a gap back from Travis Martin to Blake Giglio. 1 car in between Ian Montrose. That's 10th to 12th, that large gap in the middle of the field. Thomas Green continuing to lead, not on the bottom lane though. A little surprising. Most sim racers know that inside line around the oval, at Atlanta at least, usually saves the tire a little bit better. Someone else in the wall. Is that Kenny Frisbee, the 11, in the fence? He's trying to keep it up there and not wreck anybody else's race. Oh my gosh. Able to avoid any contact, but that's going to kill Kenny going on early here. Thomas Green feeling the pressure from Ryan Honeycutt. Honeycutt in the black 51 Mustang. Turn 2 picked up a couple of victims here in the last 2 laps. Seems like everyone made it through clean that time by. All right. Starting to get a little bit more settled down. Starting to look like we might get a green flag right in here. I say settle down, it's just kind of in quotation marks. They're a little bit less crazy than they were about 2 laps ago. Honeycutt keeps looking at the lead. Casey Graves battling, I believe that's the 77, Dawson Cram, which is the 41 on your scoreboard. It's going to be hard to get used to. Got some newcomers this week, 76, 77, 78, all right there together. Casey Graves 3 wide on the inside. Oh, gets a little bit out of shape. back into that Toyota, made a little squiggle there. Yeah, Kenny definitely had a little oopsies there. Did you retire or did you just take it to the pit lane? I see you got a meatball. Kenny giving us a word in chat so we can know what happened to him. Lucas pushing to the outside. Goes the high lane around Ryan Honeycutt. Gonna take the long way around in the Bush Apple Ford. Thomas Green loving what he's seeing in the mirrors. They battle side by side. Side drafting, pulling them both back. And Kenny said he got the wall on entry and it broke loose, so he slammed the outside wall. And the 11 car is out of the race. So unfortunate report from the 11 team, but at least didn't take anybody else out with him. So Lucas clears to second. Dawson Cram has made his way up to fourth. Dean Thompson, Casey Graves, Hayden Law, Joe Madigan, Travis Martin, Ian Montrose, your top 10. Davis Greenwell up to 11th. Mike Edwards now 12th. Then you have John Neckrich 13th. I don't think there's a lot of saving going on those cars that are catching up from the back of the pack. 3 wide out turn number 2, and they make it work. Casey Graves, the one that got hung out the worst there, lost all the momentum off the corner and trying not to drift out. Cost him 3 spots. Momentum is everything in this car, especially at the 1.5 miles, so you got to keep that momentum up as best you can without burning the tire off. That's the challenge these drivers face. Hayden to the inside of Dawson Cram. A couple of Madigan Motorsports teammates. Oh my goodness. A little bit of contact there between the 1 and the 63. That was Martin. Ian Montrose. A brief little contact there, but they were able to get it sorted. Travis now sliding up the hill. Cat trying to throw away some die casts. Let's not do that. Anyway, Thomas Green out in front. Lucas Hoytzel putting on the pressure for the lead. Lucas sent it in on the bottom. He's going to try and drift it up the hill in front of Thomas. Thomas trying to keep the nose there and does. That was a really brave move there. Lucas wanted to kind of make the 3 lift out of it. Having none of it. Dean Thompson, meanwhile, dives to the inside of Ryan Honeycutt. Gets that spot, and now is in front of Lucas. He's trying to slide up in front of the 51 of Honeycutt. Couldn't quite get clear. So we see some sliders going on up here at the front of the field. So far, not worked out for the guys throwing them, but very entertaining. Madigan 5th, Cram 6th, Lowell 7th, Casey Graves, Montrose, Edwards, your top 10. Then you have Travis Martin battling John Neckrich. Carson Bechtel, Davis Greenwell, Garrett Warren. It's Warren and Davis trade that 14th spot. And here comes Carl Rotman, Blake Giglio, Ryan Martin, Cliff Mullins, Dalton Hayes, your top 20. Large field here at Atlanta. Quinn Newton 21st, Scherer 22nd, Scripture 23rd, Christopher 24th, Packard 25th, Heilman 26th, Schmitz 27th, Friday 28th. Then you have Llewellyn 29th, Evers 30th, Mayu 31st, Dingman 32nd, Harold 33rd, Dave Hoytsma 34th. And that is Forrest in 35th behind Dave. Coming for Andrew Beach. There he is. Still on the lead lap. Lost touch with the field. He is still out there. Kenny Frisbee has retired the 11 and Cody Brown on pit lane in the 17. Let's try to get back up to the front. Thomas Green still in the battle. Now it has Ryan Honeycutt ahead of Lucas Hoytsma. Hoytsma now looking to the middle here. Putting a little air on the 51's rear spoiler. And pull him back. Now Lucas has to push Thomas Green. Now Lucas goes all the way to the bottom as Honeycutt gets out of shape on the outside. The 51 dances everywhere. Collects Dean Thompson. Thompson goes down to the inside line. He's going to drift back up the track, but fortunately not hit anybody. It's all those teammates there together. At least we're on the radio with one another. Probably knew what was happening. That got wild. Shuffles Dean Thompson back down to the back part of the top 10, now in 8th. Getting passed for 8th by Montrose. Now here goes Lucas Hoytsma to the bottom once again. They're side by side, Honeycutt and Dawson Cram. They finally get clear. Long race. We're just now getting 10% into the way of this thing. Like all of the cars in the top 22 have not been to the pit lane. We only had that one caution early on. Brockman Packard, one of the cars that did go to the pits, currently 23rd. Levi Heilman's 27th, James Scherer 29th, Daniel Allen 30th, Mayu in 31st. All those cars have been to the pit lane. Still side by side. Casey Graves has stayed dedicated to that bottom in the 01 Toyota red and silver machine. Travis Martin on his outside. Hayden down low in the 56 Napa Kyle Larson looking car. Graves drifting back here. A lot of cars sweeping around the outside. We gave him 75% in the fuel tanks today. It should be about that much every race. Let him take advantage of a little bit less fuel to give him a few more pit stops. Spice up the race a little bit for us. We got some drivers that have agreed to let us talk to him under green. So we're going to go find the driver of that number 4 in second place, Lucas Hoytsma. Have a little chat with him while he drives. Lucas, DG, you got a copy?
Yep.
Well, I know you said we can talk to you under green. Is that still good for Atlanta too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure. Well, chasing down that number 3 at Thomas Green, you had some sliders up there, and looks like maybe you've settled down for the moment and just complete some laps here. How is it out there so far in the first 20 laps?
Yeah, a lot of racing going on. It's a lot of pack racing. I completely forgot how to do this stuff. It's been a few years, so it's been a little weird getting back into the rhythm, but yeah, I think tires are starting to set in. It's a lot harder to make those crazy moves. Everybody just kind of riding it out.
10-4. Looks like it's going to be a fun one here at Atlanta. What's your predictions? How's the fuel cell looking like? About 40 laps, 50 laps?
Data's telling me 48 on this tank right now, but we'll see how that changes.
10-4. Definitely probably going to want those tires a lot more than the fuel as we go along, because this place wears it out in a hurry. Good luck to you, sir. Thanks for talking to us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Lucas Hoytsma letting us chat with them there in the second spot. Cool of our drivers that agree to let us talk to them under the green flag conditions. We got a pass being set up here. Looked like Dawson Cram was putting the moves on Ryan Honeycutt. Cram in that white and red Chevrolet gets past the 51 Mustang. Now Honeycutt to the inside once again, trying to take that spot back. Welcome in, Young Fanger. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Honeycutt wrapping the bottom just ahead of Carson Bechtel in that 59. Hard to miss that car. Very vibrant yellow. Dawson Cram takes over the 4 spot on the outside. Now Honeycutt having to deal with teammate Dean Thompson. Dean bounces off the wall a little bit, but saves the race car. Pretty good car control there out of the 78 team. And Travis Martin there in the 63. Hayden Lull, Carson Bechtel, and Garrett Warren, the back part of the top 10, all bunched up together there. Hayden. Oh, they make contact. 51 Ryan Honeycutt, 63 Travis Martin. They slide up the hill. That's going to be a caution. Does anyone collect the 63? It won't let me click on him. I think everyone missed him, judging by the tire tracks. Let's take another look and see what happened with the contact between the 51 and the 63 going into turn number 1. 51 just came up pretty high there. Oh my gosh. 23 and the 01 did a fantastic job missing Travis Martin. So did Brian Martin. The Martins avoided each other. That's good. Travis still has a good race car. He's just going to have to lose the track position and get back up there. So we see our second caution of the race. I'm sure pit road is about to be a busy place. Drivers can take tires about every 25 laps. We'll see if they choose to do so or not, or if they choose to save some sets towards the end of the race. Going to see a mixed bag of strategy here, I believe. See where Travis Martin was able to get back out into the field. Oh, he fell all the way to 35th. Ouch. I was hoping he could get it righted and get back up there and not lose too many spots, but he is all the way back towards the tail of the field. All right. Here we go onto the pit lane. Well, that's the other end. Let's try this end. See if anybody actually stays out. I doubt it. Somebody might want to lead a lap and get a bonus point. That looks like just about everybody. Pit lane, a very busy place as the pace car is very lonely going around the track by itself. Goodness. That is Atlanta in a nutshell for you right there. Everybody wants to come down. We'll see how they race off the pit lane. Looks like it's going to be Lucas Hoytsma in the 3, 78, 76. Dawson Cram 41/41/77. Carson Bechtel in the 59. And the 23, 01, 14, 6, 29, and everybody. Pit lane extremely busy. So Lucas on and off the pit lane. 4 tire stop for him and, well, just about everybody. I think the whole field really wanted the tires there. And I see 14-second stops all the way through 26th at the least. Yep. All the way down to Dave Hoytsma. These guys took some damage repair, though, so they could have not taken tires and just done damage repair. It's entirely possible. It's just hard to tell once they get stops longer than the 14-15 second bracket for the 4 tires. Doesn't exactly tell us. The lights out on the pace car. Hoytsma and Green going to be your leader, the 4 and the 3. Dean Thompson, Joseph Madigan, row number 2. Dawson Cram, Garrett Warren, row 3. Then Graves and Edwards, row 4. Neckrich and Giglio, row 5. First time we've seen Blake up into the top 10. Ian Montrose, Brian Martin, row number 6. Mike Chris, Carl Rotman, row 7. Quinn Newton, Levi Howman, row 8. Taylor Friday, Travis Scripture, row 9. And Ethan Evers, Davis Greenwell, rounding out your top 20. Get our splits running so you can see your favorite driver outside the top 20. It likes to stop running every once in a while, so we have to keep getting it going once again. You know how it be sometime. Pace car heading off into turn number 3. We have quite a show for you. It's been a lot of really good racing, and we were only just past 15% of the race complete. Remember, they get points at the end of halfway. It's nice and easy to figure out that number. 200 divided by 2 is a 100. Into lap 100, they'll get some extra bonus points to the top 10. Pace car heads down to pit lane, and here we go. Hoytsma and Green get us resumed to racing. Dean Thompson trying to take that second spot away from the 3 of Thomas Green. Dean keeping it nice and tidy around the bottom. Thomas trying to use the momentum on the high line. Inside's usually pretty good on the restart. And you see Dean Thompson's able to clear Thomas for that second spot. Someone tagged the wall in corner entry there. Couldn't tell who it was. Nobody really out of shape. Madigan battles Thomas Green for that 3rd spot now. Behind them, you see Edwards and Garrett Warren battle for 6th. A lot of side-by-side action here. Is Dean Thompson trying to get to the outside of Lucas Hoytsma for the race lead. See what kind of propulsion he can get out of turn number 2. He's going to look to the inside for the race lead. Sends that 78 Toyota inside Lucas Hoytsma in the 4. Thomas Green now going to the outside of Lucas. Lucas got him past him on both sides. I think Luke wants to try and save the tire a little bit. And that is advantage Dean Thompson as he gets a lap sled on his season. So the 78 picks himself up a lap lead. Thomas Green trying to track him down in the 3, running it right up by the wall. Joe Madigan right around the bottom. These guys seem like they're saving nothing. They're going for it. Dean Thompson now out front of Joseph Madigan. The 3 of Thomas Green sits in 3rd. Lucas Hoytsma in the 4 and 4th. Mike Edwards has cracked the top 5 of that Golden Eagle Mustang. Welcome to the party, Mr. Edwards. Thomas Green going to hold off the 76 of Madigan for the time being. Lucas going to try and get outside and take 3rd. Now decides to try and get to the bottom. I think Lucas is much more interested in saving that race car and saving the tires. As you saw him, instead of going for the pass, he tucked down behind Madigan. Dawson Cram pushes to the outside of Edwards. Cram goes up into the top 5. Meanwhile, up front, Thomas Green's trying to take the lead back. Any yellows? We've had 2, sir. One right at the beginning, lap number 2, and then one just a couple minutes ago. We just got going again here, about 3-4 laps into this run now. Thomas Green back to the front. Dean Thompson drops the 2nd. Madigan now 3rd. Lucas, Dawson Cram, Mike Edwards. How are we doing, Trev? Kenny hit the wall by himself and dropped out. Unfortunate for the Frisbee team, number 11, out of the race early. Lucas quite content to follow Madigan down to the bottom. See if Cram gets a run here on Hoytsma. That outside line coming out of turn 2 gives you a really good push down the straightaway. And he was just tucked in line behind Hoytsma. Then you got Edwards in 6th, Casey Graves in 7th, Blake Giglio now in 8th, Levi Hallman, John Neckrich, your top 10. Then we have the rest of this pack, which looks like a hornet's nest. Hayden's 11th, Ryan Martin, Brockton Packard, Ian Montrose, Garrett Warren, Travis Scripture, and it's just a wild mess back here. A lot of 2x2 in the pack. A whole lot of cars grouped up together, not a lot of place to go. I promise you, this is old Atlanta. Kind of looks like new Atlanta looking at this. We got 3 wide. Looks like Honeycutt coming through the middle in the 51. Able to get through there. Thomas Green still out front. Dawson Cram has gotten by Edwards. Lucas has been shuffled back to 6th. Then a bit of a gap back to Casey Graves, almost a full second, as this second pack, which the front few cars look kind of settled, but then everything else behind him looks just like pure chaos. Like Blake trying to save, sticking to the bottom in the orange and yellow Reese's 26. Hayden Lowell trying to get past him in the 56. Hayden had a longer stop. Wonder if Hayden picked up a little damage. It's his pit stop. He was on the pit lane for 25 seconds, so an extra bit of time there. Let's see if we can ask him. Hayden DG, got a copy? Hayden.
Oh?
Hi. You were one of the ones that said we could talk to you under green, yeah?
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that was an all-season long thing. Yeah, sure, what's up?
Well, we're racing with the Blake Giglio machine here, and I was just coming to ask you. I saw 25 seconds on the clock there for your pit stall. Did you, I don't know, have to go pee, or did you end up having a little damage to fix?
I had 12 seconds of optional damage from something, not sure what, so I figured let's just get it all over with here and give us, 170 laps to make it back up.
10-4. Well, we were just wondering because we didn't see you getting any kind of wreck, so I was wondering what you would have had damage from. But I guess you're just as confused as I am.
Yeah, that makes 2 of us. I don't remember clipping the wall. I don't remember hitting anyone hard enough to do that. So, yeah, I'm just as confused as you are.
Perfect. All right, well, good luck, sir.
Thank you very much, Swizz.
Hayden Law in the 56, just as confused as we are as to why he had to take some damage repair on that stop. It'd be like that sometime. Madigan trying to take that second spot away. Had briefly gotten past the 78 of Thompson through the corner, but outside line prevailed off the corner. We got a little bit of 3 wide there. Fortunately, Lucas was able to check up. That 4 car was coming in there with some heat. I thought it might get into the 14, and they got back single file in a hurry. Casey Graves inching up there in the 01 machine. True Speed Toyota joins the fight. John Necker jumped to that 8th spot. We got 2 in the wall. Looked like the 23 of Garrett Warren. I believe the 55 of Levi Howman. Both of those cars brushing against the wall there, coming out of turn number 2, just ahead of Hayden Law and Blake Giglio. Front several cars fairly single file until they get to the corner. So we've been dropping back in the pack, watching some of the chaos back there. Drivers just choosing different lines. It's been about 12 laps since we've turned them back to the green flag conditions. This is about when the tires start to matter again. Those that have saved their tires probably start moving forward. Those that did not, probably moving backward as Mike Edwards hits the wall on the 14. Fortunately, no one right on him, able to save the race car and not make a big crash. He has lost a couple spots. John Neckrich trying to get in there and take the spot away as well in the 6. Orange and black machine. We have a bit of a gap now back to Garrett Warren. We saw him brush the wall. So he's trying to run right against him, corner exit. I believe as I said that, John Neckrich brushed the wall. It's his teammate. Makes perfect sense. Dawson Graham right up against the fence. Looked like he kicked up some dust. He got so close to it. Dawson riding in that 4 spot. Joseph Madigan, Dean Thompson, Thomas Green all up there. Trevor's saying that Kenny wrecked himself on purpose. He just didn't want to race tonight. Blake Giglio gets around Levi Howman as Howman got up into the fence. Hayden's going to follow him through. Puts Blake in 10th, Hayden 11th. Make their way to the front of that large pack. See Brian Martin in there, the 51. Ryan Honeycutt, Carson Bechtel. Got the 36 of Packard all up in that front part of that big pack. Dalton Hayes, 47, 18 Travis Scripture, 25 Carl Rotman. Is all right with the back part of the top 20, and it is wild from about 18th back to 35th. All piled up there. Brian Martin working over the 55, trying to take over 12th. Closing in on the 1/4 distance. Bechtel looking to the outside now of the 55 of Heilman. Brian Martin gets the outside wall, checks up the 55. Carson Bechtel fortunately able to stay off of him. That got a little tight off the corner. Up front, starting to get spicy again. Lucas Hoyce down on the inside there. Dawson Cram on the outside. Lucas trying to take 4th. And Mike Edwards trying to sweep around and take 5th. Just depends if they're on the straightaway or on the corner. Who has the advantage? Lucas actually going to slide back to the 6th spot as Edwards goes by on the outside. Casey Graves right there. The top 7 have a bit of a breakaway. Up front, Thomas Green under pressure from Joe Madigan. Madigan putting pressure to the inside in that Mustang. Dean Thompson's settled back to 3rd. Dawson Cram right behind, then Mike Edwards your top 5. Looks like Madigan once again to the bottom in the 76 Mustang. Coming off the corner, Thomas Green able to use that high line to maintain the race lead. Madigan just going to go to the bottom every single time around, it looks like. Back on to the front stretch. They go single file through the top 5. Lucas peeking inside Edwards, but not close enough to do anything. See Dawson Cram inside Dean Thompson with the nose. Madigan once again trying to put air on that spoiler of the 3, but just can't quite get there. See, he'll dump a little air on him right at the end of the straightaway. Not quite able to clear. See if Thomas Green puts up a fight or settles in to save Sire. Heard him talk earlier on the last caution about the importance of saving Sire here. You see the Busch Apple car. Lucas Hoyson getting passed by the 01 Toyota of Casey Graves. Back part of this top 7. John Neckrich keeps inching in. That number 6 car has joined the lead pack. Garrett Warren just kissed the wall coming out of 4 in that Columbia Toyota. Hayden Lowell completes the pass on Garrett. Hayden up to the 9th spot for his extended stay on the pit lane. Joe Madigan still putting pressure on Thomas Green for the lead there. I think Thomas wanted to come down. I think he realized it was really, really tight. And clear. Finally, Joseph Madigan gets by the 3 of Thomas Green. Thomas immediately back to the bottom. He didn't like it. He wants it back. Hard racing for the lead here, and he's already got him clear. Let's see if he drifts it up in front of Madigan and where Madigan decides to go. Comes the crossovers. Madigan back to the inside. Neckrich hits the wall back there in the number 6. This time Dean Thompson comes in to give a push to the 76. Things are wild up here at the front. Can't take our eyes away because they keep changing the lead up here. Got Brian Martin going for position on Garrett Warren at the same time. 54 and 23. I heard there was a good save back in the pack with the 25. I don't have a event marker to try and go find that, sadly. But good job to the 25 Carl Rotman. Joseph Madigan back to the front in the 76 machine. Let's go back a little bit, check out action farther back as the leaders keep trading. Hayden Lowell up to the 8th spot, ahead of John Nickrich, who just got the fence. Blake Giglio into the top 10. Garrett Warren is 11th. Meanwhile, Thomas Green's gone back to the race lead. They just keep trading it. Lucas battling Mike Edwards for 4th. Dean Thompson trying to push Madigan past the 3. And now they go 1-2, Madigan and Dean Thompson. Thomas Green stays at the bottom. Lucas looked like he wanted to push up on corner exit, but Mikey was taking a little bit of a lower exit, so they had to navigate that. About high-fived one another through the corner. They're trying to go 4 wide here. Oh my gosh. Edwards and Lucas Oitza just door to door. Those Mustangs looking in the inside of this battle ahead of them. Now they're going to split the 3 of Thomas Green as Lucas goes to the inside, Mikey to the top. They stay side by side as the 3 goes from in front of them to behind them. That was really good racing. The 4, 14, and the 3. Next up for those cars, that is the 78 of Dean Thompson. Madigan going to the bottom. Dean going to run the wall. Edwards kind of a middle groove. And they clear single file coming off the corners. Dawson Cram gets a bit of the corner 2 wall there on exit. Dean Thompson gets into the wall. 78 car through the middle of the corner. Bounced it off the wall a few times. That allows Joe Madigan to get a bit of a lead. Now Lucas Hoysma pushing Mike Edwards past Dean Thompson there. Dean goes from 2nd place to 4th place in a hurry. Now Lucas is going to try to slide up in front of him. And completes the pass. Lucas. Oh my gosh. Thomas Green completely sideways off the corner. Gets Hayden's right front. Mike Edwards gets out of shape. They're all going to save it, it looks like. Oh no, Casey Graves gets hit into the wall there. Bouncing off of Blake Giglio. That got purely chaotic up there. Got everybody bouncing off everybody in the top 10. Casey Graves has paid the price, falling all the way to 13th. The right front on that car is badly hurt. He's going to need a caution, or he's going to need to bring it to the pit lane and get that thing repaired. Probably going to want to wait for a caution, try to stay on the lead lap. The 01 True Speed Toyota badly damaged on the right front now after that hit. It's fallen all the way out of the top 15. Run it back through the field now that they've kind of strung out after that chaos. Madigan is your leader, Hoytsma 2nd, Dean Thompson, Mike Edwards, and Hayden Law your top 5. Blake Giglio runs in 6th, Thomas Green 7th, Dawson Cram is in 8th, John Nickrich 9th, and Garrett Warren riding in 10th, Carson Bechtel 11th, Ryan Martin 12th, Brockton Packard in 13th, as Ryan Honeycutt tries to take that away in the 51. Then Dalton Hayes 15th, Ethan Evers a distant 16th, Travis Martin 17th, Taylor Friday 18th, Travis Scripture in 19th, and Mike Chris rounding out your top 20. Quinn Newton 21st, Cliff Mullins 22nd, Ian Montrose 23rd, Jeremy Scher 24th, Levi Howman 25th, Andrew Beach 26th, Philip Schmitz 27th, Daniel Wallen 28th, Davis Greenwell 29th, and Carl Rotman in 30th. Dave Hoytsma 31st, still in the lead lap. Derek Force, there's the 2, riding in 32nd. Can't find the 61 car. It's not showing him at the moment. There he is. 61, 1 lap down. Nope, on the lead lap, just farther back from the pack. Josh Mayu in 33rd. Russell Harrell 34th. Casey Graves, looks like he did bring that car to the pit lane. He has a meatball, so that car, unfortunately, going to have to take a long repair under green. Mark Dingman in 36th. Kenny Frisbee out of the race 37th. Cody Brown out of the race 38th. That's how our 38 cars are running. Back up towards the front. Lucas Hoysma running the high line in the 4 car, trying to get the lead away from Joe Madigan. And he's going to have it out of turn number 2. Lucas Hoysma, your new leader, takes the Busch Apple Ford to the lead. Joe Madigan now in 2nd. Dean Thompson 3rd. Blake Giglio up to 4th. Mike Edwards and Hayden Law battle for 5th. 14 and 56 side by side. Continue to watch that battle as Edwards clears Hayden Law down the front stretch. Things kind of single file to the top 15-ish. Outside of this close battle with Edwards and Law. Edwards usually more of a hard charger on a set of tires. Hayden usually, oh my gosh, Dean Thompson, 78 car, got squirrely out of turn number 2, went all the way down to the inside apron, but able to save the race car. Gives 3rd place to Blake Giglio in the 26th. Joe Madigan now in the 2nd spot, and Lucas Hoysma hanging on to the point. Tell me if you've seen that before. Lucas Hoysma out front. still have the two blue cars, Edwards and Hayden Lowell, battling for 5th. Thomas Green right there with him. And we have Dawson Cram leading Carson Bechtel, Brian Martin, Ryan Honeycutt, and John Neckrich. So we hit lap 35 of the stint. 35 laps since these cars have been to the pit lane. We heard him say about 40-some, 50-ish on the fuel tank. A few more laps before we start seeing the intentional green flag stops. Check in with Graves. Looks like he is back out on track. 2 laps down in the 01. Got the meatball clear. Still has some right front damage, so it's going to be slow aerodynamically. But back out there trying to pick up some points in the 01 True Speed Toyota. See Dawson Cram leading that third group. Just ahead of Carson Bechtel, Brian Martin, Ryan Honeycutt, and John Neckrich. And it's 8th through 12th right there on your screen. Cram all the way up to the fence. Carson Bechtel going to get by on the inside line. Move Carson up to the 8th spot. Dawson Cram falls down the 9th. Brian Martin trying to take that away. B-Roy in the 54 working Dawson Cram there door to door. My goodness. Both of them, I think, were trying to use a little draft there. Both of them wanted to be behind Bechtel, which is weird to me. I would think they'd want the downforce on the nose. Oh, in the back, Travis Martin, Travis Scripture, both headed to the inside wall. They both hit it pretty hard. Trying to drop back far enough to see them. Let's take a quick replay here. They stay green. They get hooked together coming off of turn number 2, and it sends Travis Martin hard into the inside wall. Scripture bounces off of it as well. Travis Martin picked up a meatball in the Ghostman car. He came back up the track and nearly collected some others. Fortunately able not to, and I think he's going to get it down without bringing out the yellow. But Travis Martin, unfortunately, meatballed in the number 63 Mustang. That car is going to have to come down and get some repairs to the suspension. Hopefully it won't take him too long. He can get back out there. Up front, Giglio working on Joe Madigan for 2nd. Blake working over Joseph Madigan. Madigan able to use the outside lane, hang on to it for the moment. Blake now goes all the way to the top. Madigan through the middle, Lucas at the bottom. Our top 3 running 3 different lines. They've broken away from Dean Thompson, Hayden Lowell, Mike Edwards, Thomas Green. Dean Thompson bounces off the fence once again, coming out of 2. That car looks like it's starting to get really tight. There goes Blake to the top once again. Madigan's going to go all the way to the bottom this time as Lucas goes middle. Now Madigan's starting to put pressure on for the lead once again as the top 3 battles. We start lap number 69. Nice. Blake Giglio going to make it 3 wide. Why not? Leaders 3 wide into turn 1. Lucas all the way at the wall. Madigan through the middle. Blake at the bottom. It's going to be advantage to Lucas off the top side of turn 2 there, and Lucas maintains the race lead. Top 3 kind of settled down that time by. Let's look a little further back. Hayden's taking over 4th from Dean Thompson. I think Dean burned those tires up on the high side a little bit early on. Green flag run catching him out a bit. Thomas Green, he's in this group. Mike Edwards as well. Thomas Green told us about saving tire, but I don't think he listened to himself. Lucas once again on the top side, coming out of turn number 2, so dominant. The run you get down that straightaway. Back in the back, that's Carson Bechtel out of shape. Couldn't tell if that was Brian Martin he made contact, or yeah, it is Brian Martin. Bechtel and Martin going to make contact coming out of turn number 2. Get them both a bit out of shape. 23 is going to come through, take advantage, pick up a couple spots. We stay green. A lot of cars with close calls there. Back out front, 3 cars still putting on a show. Blake Giglio's managed to get by Joseph Madigan for 2nd. And now it is Blake and Lucas, 1-2 teammates. Over at Low Drag Esports. A 3-car breakaway, then a half, 2nd and a half back to Hayden Lowell. And Dean Thompson right in front of Mike Edwards. I think Dean was trying to pit, and Mike Edwards gets into the back of him. And this could be a caution. These cars are going slow on the straightaway. Dean Thompson bouncing every which way. Thomas Green's out of shape in the 3 as well. A lot of cars just had a big struggle there. I think Dean Thompson was trying to pit. And Mike Edwards, I guess, did not get the memo. Drove into the back of him. Well, that's awkward.
Hitting.
43 on this fuel run. Mike Edwards has a meatball. The 14 car in trouble. After running into the back of the pitting Dean Thompson. Edwards pays the price by picking up one of the meatballs. Battle for the race lead, Hoytsman and Giglio. Bush Apple versus Reese's, both Kevin Harvick paint schemes here. Hopefully Edwards meatball not that long. Edwards is on the pit lane. Dean Thompson did get down there as well. And it looks like the 23 of Garrett Warren has been to the pit lane because he is going to pass all of our leaders in one lap.
Come up, you're good.
Garrett Warren 1 lap down. Well, back to 2 laps down. And back to 1 lap down. Garrett Warren pit about 8 laps ago in that 23. Looks like Travis Martin, Kenny Frisbee, Cody Brown have retired from the event. Two leaders and a bit of a gap to Hayden. Hayden's got a big gap now over Carson Bechtel and Brian Martin. All these cars are about 46 laps since they've been to the pit lane. About time to see everybody start to use the pit lane. Dawson Cram has brought it down, as has
8 car pitting.
Well, Ethan Evers too. Ryan pitting. Honeycutt in the 51 is down there. He's a lap down at this point. That's most of our leaders coming down here in the next lap or two. Thomas Green in the 3 car. Ethan Evers in the 8 on pit lane. Looks like Carl Rotman in the 25 coming down as well.
56 pitting.
The 20 of
5-4 pitting, 54.
He hit the screen well, and that's just about everybody. Let's jump back to our leaders. See if any of the top 3 come down. We get Joe Madigan. 76 out of the top 3. He hits the pit lane. It's like Hayden Lowell has come down. Brian Martin is going to bring it down.
Pitting this time here.
It's like Friday is on the pit lane.
Sorry, Mike, I was planning on pitting, but I just didn't know where the 6 was going to slow down.
Oh,
now.
Friday hit the inside wall pitting. That's awkward. And we get a caution. Who done it?
I'm sorry, Dean. As soon as you came across me, it took all the air off my rear.
Dean Thompson and Travis Scripture. Toyotas bouncing off each other through the front stretch. And Ethan Evers gets caught in it at the end. That's awkward. Dean Thompson unfortunately wrapped up in that one. 18 said it took the air off his car. Let's see if we can see it with our drone shots here in a sec. Watch it one more time from the TV cam. 78, Dean Thompson's going to catch the 18 in a rapid hurry. Gets to the inside, and the 18 just kind of gets out of shape, and then Netcode plays a little bit of a move. And they go into the outside wall. Let's watch that one from the 18. Looks like he gets out of shape through the quad oval, like he gets kind of loose in the left side, starts to track down. Right there, see a car step sideways? It's weird to see the car get loose there in the quad oval, but it definitely did. And unfortunately, towards the 78, and then a little bit of netcode and a little bit of bad luck, they end up wrecked together. Caution is out, lap 78.
I'm going to need an EOL. I am out of gas.
It's the 81 car. Hopefully somebody can get that. Matt Binky should be our race control tonight. Thanks, Matt, for stepping in.
So nobody else gets a penalty.
I don't know how I'm the only one that got put a lap down from that, and I'm low-key pissed.
Madigan already been on the pit lane. Hayden Lowell also had already been to the pit lane and able to get back out in front of everybody. Then Blake Giglio fresh off the pit lane just now. Blake, Lucas, Bechtel, Newton, all coming off the pit lane now. Dalton Hayes, Cliff Mullins.
0.02 fuel.
Sounds like a lot of these guys are really close on fuel with that yellow coming out in the pit cycle. Thomas Green on the pit lane now. Andrew Beach heard him say he was out of fuel.
How do I have to let him by?
Because iRacing said so.
I'm literally getting robbed of a wave around. That's
What the hell?
Wait, how?
Hey, can we delay it and like get this right? I literally stayed out and I don't get a free pass.
I mean, why am I on the inside in the front?
Yeah,
This
Huh?
gotta get delayed.
It's an iRacing problem, guys. When the caution comes out and you're still on pit road, it's what gets back.
But I wasn't on pit road. I was literally going on a front straightaway. The wreck happened behind me.
I was supposed to get the waiver on, and now it's put me behind everybody.
yeah. I was supposed to get the wave around too, and a lot of technical 76 go around.
Same here.
Yep.
Well, we can go back and figure this
I
out.
feel like if I stayed out, I could get the wave around.
Other way. Let's get that out the way. And that out the way. We'll figure this out. I think I heard Casey's voice in there, so we'll watch the 01 car. Try to get this sorted.
So are we giving the waves or not? Because like people need to know, like, or not.
Yeah, I need to know if I'm going to the back or if I'm getting my lap back.
Casey definitely should have a wave around. The Deckrich car should definitely have a wave around. Who else was it?
Me, I should have got one.
At 51 should, 07 should, 36 should.
23.
Half the fucking field needs to wave around.
You're gonna have to just go around and we're gonna have to clear flags. We can't keep waving around everyone, and we're gonna have to extend it again.
Alright, I'm driving around because of this bullshit ass yellow system. I hope it.
If you pitted and you're a lap down the caution stuff, that makes you a lap down, no?
Yes, but we stayed out whenever the caution came out, and
Anybody that was between the pace car and the race leader when you're out there lined up after the pit stops, make sure you get your lap back down. We'll clear your black flag. We will check it after, so don't be a dumbass and try to get a free lap back.
Well, they waved around one of the wrong cars because Ian's on the lead lap and he is getting told to wave around.
Then just don't take the wave and stay where he should be, so it doesn't screw.
Yep, iRacing throwing us curveballs, but y'all are smart. Y'all know where you should be, so get where you should be, and then we'll clear blacks. And then if anybody doesn't do something they were supposed to, we can check it after the race and penalize them accordingly.
I was in the pit during the yellow, and I'm a lap back. Do I stay back here?
Yeah, if you pit, you're not going to be on lead lap.
Thank you.
Basically going to come down to an honor system until they look at it.
Yeah, if you go around and you weren't between the pace car and the leader after the leader pit, then you're going to be in big trouble. All right.
You're gonna have to clear Ian's penalty and everybody's in the field because.
Just go by me.
He said he was going to clear black.
Odd position cars inside, even position cars outside. Except the leader if you want the top.
Go. Get where you need to be. I got it all clear button ready to go.
If you were supposed to get a wave around, you'll be single file. Keep that in mind.
I'm technically 6, so I'm technically supposed to be on the outside, I think. But
What a mess. iRacing giving us some shit. Your shit's breaking over? What does that mean?
right, is everybody where they need to be? And all caught up.
Looks like it.
I am.
Hopefully.
Alright, I'm gonna put the 1 to go command it.
We're coming to 1 to go anyway.
Starting at. Never mind.
They shortened it to be funny. Base car would leave like right now. Be entertaining.
Everyone officiating rules were not on my list today of what the fuck is gonna happen.
Yeah, Brian, I think Lucas, who was the leader at the time, beat you to the pit exit line. But, like, so yeah, that kind of screwed you.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not worried about it. I still got my wave around. I'm not too upset about it. Am I a little sad? Yes. But am I still on the lead lap? Also yes. So I can't be too upset.
Good
The
attitude,
problem is
Dad.
iRacing thinks that you came out under caution, so it thinks you shouldn't get a wave round and you're not eligible. It's a coding problem.
Yeah, let me tell iRacing to hire me. I know data structure and algorithms, so I do C++.
Davis, if we let you anywhere near the iRacing office, we're never gonna. The game is not gonna exist anymore.
If they hire me, their game will get better immediately.
No, it
Davis would be
wouldn't.
hired, and 15 seconds later, everyone's iRacing blue.
Hey, you two, go by me. iRacing might be the only place that A versus B squared, like.
Hey, I'm gonna need you to close up, or I'm gonna have to give you a violation, buddy. So get up there.
If you weren't here last week, that's funny. It's a good joke. Pace car is going to head off the way, and we're going to get this thing resumed. Here we go. Green flag back out in the air. Joseph Madigan, Hayden Lowell, your leaders now. All that chaos under caution. Blake Giglio battles.
I gotta pass you, and I don't understand why.
Oh my gosh. We'll clear everyone's. Just give it a minute.
Alright, just clear all of these this time.
Already trying to go 4 wide back in the back. Holy crap. It's Ian Montrose through the middle. I believe that's the 15 of Scherer up into the top 10. Dalton Hayes showing it by Quinn Newton. We're going to see guys who don't want to save tire pushing here as the stage is on its way. End of lap 100. We give away points to everyone in the top 10. The higher up you get, the more points you get. Cliff Mullins charging up in there in the 37. He's our points leader right now. For winning Daytona last week. Hey, Matt. Yeah, we seen that. We definitely seen that.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to give you room. I'm getting squeezed up though. Nah, you're good. I saw it.
Madigan, Lowell, Hoytsma, Giglio, Dalton Hayes, your top 5. As Heilman tries to take away that 5th spot on the outside, and the inside checks up, and that allows Heilman to get around both 47 and the 26. Heilman all the way up to 4th now. That outside line, he's trying to get Lucas here. Heilman burning up those tires here. Oh, Blake Giglio goes sideways as Dalton Hayes gets to the back of him. Ian Montrose gets sideways. They're all trying to save the race cars. They go 4 wide off the corner, collects Cliff Mullins. Cliff gets sent through the grass. Cliff's going to need a
Sorry, Blake. but
black
just-
flag clear.
I was gonna get ran over from behind. I was off the throttle and brake.
Cliff Mullins saves the race car, but that's going to kill his opportunity to get stage points. That got really chaotic back there. Wow. Meanwhile, Jerry Scherer working up the 4th. Going around the outside of Quinn Newton. Contact between Heilman and 56 of Hayden Lowell. Heilman does a great job saving the race car. I'm sure he's not going to be very happy with the 56 car. Joseph Madigan out front. Hayden Lowell squeezes in front of Heilman for the 2nd spot. I think he had maybe room for a sheet of paper or 2 between the 2 of them off the corner. And Jeremy Scherer trying to take over 3rd there in the 15 car. The 11 laps to give away the halfway points.
Hey, Ryan,
Trying to find out if he has
you're good.
damage back there. Scherer working his way up into the top 5, trying to take 3rd away from Levi Heilman. Quinn Newton, though, trying to spoil the fun. Heilman gets cleared. Now Newton wants to take over. Newton wants to take over that 4th spot. Colin Newman. He's not that
Yeah,
bad to
that.
pass. Promise you, he's not that hard to pass. I mean, he's a good racer, but he's not a Ryan Newman. He's not going to take up the whole track. Jeffrey Shearer back to the outside. Having a good old time in that 15 car. Nice move by Shearer. Gets back up to 4th ahead of Quinn Newton. Just behind him you have Lucas Weissel and Mike Christopher. Mike had a fairly poor qualifying effort, but he's made his way now up to the front in the 7th spot in that 712 Rakes Ford Mustang. Jeffrey Shearer, Levi Hallman, they're putting on a hell of a battle for 3rd. They do not care about the tires. They are stage points and stage points alone right now. Shearer gets to the outside of Hayden Law, and he's going to take over the 2nd spot. I can promise you the 15 and the 55 are not saving tires here. Pure chaos. So Shearer up to 2nd. He wants to go get this stage win. Tracking down the race leader, 76, Joe Madigan. Madigan to the bottom. Shearer going to run middle. Both these cars slapped on 4 tires in their last pit stop. Joe Madigan about 2 laps ahead of Jerry Shearer. Madigan was on the pit lane when the caution came out. Somebody pitting in. Couldn't tell quite who that was. Garrett Warren has a meatball. What happened to the 23 team? Trying to see what happens to the 23 to pick up a meatball. He was all by himself for the most part. Looks like the right front took a hit somewhere along the way. Unfortunate for the 23 team. Takes them out of the running. Shearer still closing in for that top spot. We have the 2nd pack. Things a little bit more chaotic back here. Blake Giglio, last car of the top 10, the orange car. Dawson Cram, first one out, the 41. Brian Martin, 61 is not on the lead lap. 61, Josh Mayu, currently 24th. First car 1 lap down, trying to get the lucky dog spot. We don't do cautions for the stage breaks. We just do a rolling stage. So everyone get their position at the end of the lap at halfway, but no yellow. Keep it green. Get enough cautions. We don't need to have an extra one. Shearer trying to get that nose of that Mustang on the outside. Not quite there. He knows he wants to try and get that past on the outside. 2 different cars hit the wall coming out of turn 2 in that 2nd pack. Looked like one of them was Montrose in the DoorDash car. He goes down to the bottom behind Mayu. Ryan Martin's in there. John Nickrich. Thomas Green ran up front for a long part of the start of this race, making his way back up through the pack. He's currently 15th. Daniel Wallen just got a little air going over the grass coming out of turn 4 into the quad oval there. The top 7 have a 2-second breakaway. And Ryan Honeycutt leads Giglio, Hayes, Martin, Cram, Montrose, and Nickrich in that 2nd pack. Jeremy Shearer keeps running that higher line. Really wants to get up there and challenge, but may have run the new off those tires now that we're 20 laps into the run. Check in on pack 2. Oh, no, Dawson Cram. The 51, the 1. Cram's coming back up the track. That's probably going to bring the yellow. I think he got around. Yep. That'll bring it out. For a second, it looked like they might save it right about there. And then it goes all the way around. And that will trigger the yellow. Well, we get a interesting timed yellow here because cars are going to want to pit. I think the pit's open on lap 100. Just a reminder, the halfway points go out at the end of lap 100 no matter what.
Right rear has got my damage.
Thank you.
It's pretty minimal though. It's bent in slightly.
Drivers going to have to pick if they want points or coming down the pit lane.
So is halfway point a caution? I didn't see that in the rules.
It is not. Jeremy Shearer going to stay out. He's going to get that win. John Neckrich is going to stay out. Thomas Green stays out. Remember, it's the end of lap 100, so once they cycle around, those 3 cars will be picking up the stage points.
You stopped way far in your box. It fucked me up.
So we won't go back green in time. These drivers are going to then have to rebound because, as we said, we don't do anything different for the caution, so they're going to have to not pit. We're going to have old tires here. You're going to get some good stage points for these top 3. And Joseph Madigan's going to beat everybody out in the pit lane. He'll end up getting 4th in this stage. Hayden will get 5th. Heilman 6th. Hoytsman 7th. Quinn Newton 8th. Blake Giglio 9th. And Mike Chris will be all the drivers getting stage points. So only 3 risk their finishing position for a halfway bucket of points. 10 points to go to Shearer, 9 points to Neckrich, and 8 points to Thomas Green. So it'll be interesting to see if it helps their season picking up these stage points instead of coming down the pit lane. John Neckrich is coming down. I don't think he can. It's usually closed the second time around. That's interesting. All right. Well, here's how your stage points will go out. Jeremy Shearer gets in. Thomas Green 9, Madigan 8, Hayden Lull 7, John Neckrich will drop down to 6, Lucas Hoytsma 5, John Neckrich 4. Wait, it can't be both. Levi Hallman moves up to 6, Hoytsma 5, Neckrich 4, Newton 3, Blake Giglio 2, and Mike Chris 1. Pretty sure Neckrich is going to get a hold penalty here, coming down the pit lane when the pits are closed after the pit cycle. If you come down before, like you're damaged, it's only a tail end of the field. But if you come in after the pit cycle to a closed pit, it is usually a hold under green. Fascinating decision. He does have the black flag shown on our screen. But John Neckrich I have to pay the price for that pit stop 1 lap later. Also showing the black flag is Josh Mayu in the 61. And Travis Scripture has a neat ball after the wreck with Dean Thompson. That was a lot to look at, Matt. It's quite a lot. Quite a lot going on there. Pace car heads off. Jeremy Shearer is your race leader. Thomas Green. Those 2 stayed out to get these stage points. Now they're in front of a field that is eager to get by them on new tires. This could get ugly. Hopefully everyone uses their head and a little bit of patience, but you know how things can be, so we're going to go 4 wide instead. Why not? Joseph Madigan back to the lead. Oh my gosh, Jeremy Shearer slides down in front of one of the red and black cars. Couldn't tell which one that was. May have been Levi. I think it is. The old tires stacking up that inside lane. Looks like the 23 Garrett worn out just in front of our leader. Garrett 2 laps down. Will be 3 laps down if Madigan gets there to him. And can confirm it is a hold for John Neckrich and for Josh Mayu. Both of those cars have black flags to serve. His tail into the field wasn't enough. They're going to have to come down and serve a hold. Madigan, Lull, Hoytsma, Dalton Hayes, and Thomas Green, your top 5. Remember Thomas on older tires in the white number 3. Everyone scoots by to the inside as the old tires fade. That number 3 Chevrolet. It's the price he pays for staying out on the stage, picking up the points. Jeremy Shearer all the way down to 15th and falling like a rock in the Burger King car. Also, one that stayed out and has the old tires. Everyone else on the fresh rubber. Madigan, Lull, Hoytsma, Hayes, Heilman, Montrose, Giglio, Evers, Martin, Newton, the top 10, all fresh tires. Honeycutt there in 11th. I think he had a little damage to pull out. Had a 15-second stop. Austin Cram, a lot of damage to fix on that car. 47-second stay on the pit lane. Thomas Green, he had a minute stop the last time he was down there. Interesting to see if he has more damage to fix on that number 3 car, and could be why he stayed out, because he thought the damage would pull him back anyway. Be a good strategy. We got the top 6 cars all bunched up here. Right behind a lapper. 23 Garrett Warren's trying to do everything he can to stay on lead, or to stay 2 laps down instead of going a third one. We've reached halfway. Do a full field rundown now that we're halfway through the race. Joe Madigan is your leader. White, yellow, and orange Ford, second car in line behind the lap machine of Garrett Warren. Hayden Lowell rides second. Number 56 Chevy. Lucas Oyster rides third in that Bush Apple Ford. Number 4, Dalton Hayes, the USA Chevrolet in fourth. Levi Heilman has the Big C's diecast SRL Discord machine riding in the 5th spot. Ian Montrose, the DoorDash car, sits in 6th. Blake Giglio, the Reese's car, battles for 7th with Ethan Evers. Ethan goes around the outside and takes that spot. So move Ethan up to 7th. Giglio to 8th. Honeycutt in the black Mustang trying to take over 9th. Dawson Cram currently sits 10th. Ryan Martin 11th. Mike Chris 12th. Quinn Newton rides 13th. Cliff Mullins in 14th. Davis Greenwell currently sits 15th. We have Brockton Packard 16th. Andrew Beach is 17th. Thomas Green fallen to 18th on those older tires. Jerry Shearer in 19th. Their plan is to try and stay on the lead lap and hope for the yellow to come out before they have to pit, or for it to go green after they pit until the next pit cycle. Those 2 options will work for those 2, and only those 2 options. Taylor Friday, she sits in 20th. Dave White's with 21st. Daniel Wallen 22nd. Philip Schmitz 23rd. Carl Rotman 24th. Derek Forrest 25th. Casey Graves 26th. Schmitz, Rotman, Forrest, and Graves 1 lap down, along with Josh Mayu, who had to come down and serve that black flag. John Neckrich is 28th, 2 laps down. Garrett Warren has lost his spot to the leaders, and he is now 3 laps down in 29th. Russell Harold also 3 laps down in 30th. Mark Dingman 4 laps down in 31st. Everyone else seems to be out of the race. Dean Thompson 34th, Mike Edwards 35th, Travis Martin 36th, Kenny Frisbee 37th, and Cody Brown 38th. Just past halfway, that is your full field rundown presented by Big C's Diecast. Check them out on Facebook. Get on over to our Discord and get the link so you can get in on our diecast giveaways. Our Discord, once again, is discord.gg/Sidewinder. You can come join, be part of all this action. Looks like we have the 23 up and into the wall, trying to stay out of everybody's way. Garrett Warren, I think he may call it a day after that one. Garrett Warren up and out of the way, lets the field through. Madigan, Lowell, Hoytsma, Dalton Hayes, Ethan Evers, your top 5. Levi Heilman all the way into the grass there, trying to get around Montrose. A wild maneuver there. The 55 has a little bit of left side damage. I saw him get up on 2 wheels going through the grass. Hayden Lowell looking for the lead here. 56 Napa Kyle Larson machine. Trying to get by his teammate Joe Madigan, get a lap lead. Hayden will get it out front. Looks like a little bit of contact there. Hayden will lead lap 111. Get himself a bonus point for his season. Haven't seen Hayden a whole lot this race, but here he is getting that lap lead. Lucas Hoyser rides in the 3rd spot. Dalton Hayes under attack from Ethan Evers. Ethan around the outside, the number 8 Gearhead Racing Machine. Ethan, of course, our sponsor here at Sidecar with the Ever Fever podcast. Wish I could give you a link, but at the moment it is a soon trademarked thing. It's coming soon, the Evers Fever podcast. Ian Montrose up to that 5th spot, looks inside the 8 of Evers for the 4th spot. Evers, meanwhile, keeps digging to the outside lane. He wants to pass Lucas Hoytsma on the outside. And he'll get it done. So Lucas apparently in save mode. Levi Heilman bounced off the wall and then still had enough momentum to go to the inside of Dalton Hayes there. Ian Montrose also around the outside of Hoytsma, so I think Hoytsma in conservation mode for sure, losing 2 cars in 1 lap there. Madigan now sits 2nd. Hayden Lowell happy to get some laps led. And there's Dalton Hayes, Levi Heilman, Ryan Honeycutt, Dawson Cram, Quinn Newton. They are almost leaning on each other in those Chevrolets. Coming out of turn number 2. And Mike Chris right there in 11th. So watch this battle for ninth. 88 and 22 are teammates. 77 is the 41 on your list. Ethan Evers trying to take over 2nd now around the outside in that number 8 car. think he just wants to get up there and get some TV time. There's no way he's saving tires right now. Ethan Evers used that outside exit off turn number 2, which is just very powerful. It's a little right rear damage on that 8 car. I wonder if he got up and into the outside wall or maybe got contact from another car. Definitely holds on to second that lap. We'll see if Hayden goes into conservation mode and lets him around, or if Hayden tries to fight him. So we kind of run. Ethan gets down the backstretch here at Atlanta. Off of turn number 2 on that high side. Gets quite a run. Madigan go dive to the bottom, but I think that's more for his tire strategy than to pass the 8. Side by side off of turn number 4. Hayden has options here to decide which line he wants to throw dirty air on. Throws it on Ethan Evers on entry, then drives it down the hill. Side by side off the corner, Madigan and Ethan Evers. A little bit of contact with Dalton Hayes and Madigan there. As Evers takes over the second spot a little more wholeheartedly. Working lap 117 of 200. Xfinity linked Atlanta race here. Call it the Atlanta 300. Kind of calm right now, despite the contact back there, as Madigan has dropped back on conservation mode. Allowed the 847 to 1 around on the high side. Hoytsma also conserving. Oh no. Blake Giglio dropping back quickly. What happened? Blake is around, and so is Mike Chris. This has to be a yellow, isn't it? There it is. Took a while for iRacing to trigger that one. Blake Giglio has gone around along with Mike Christopher. Those two are teammates, so it'll be interesting to see what transpired. Oh no. They get together on corners somehow. Cram bounces off of Christopher, then Christopher into the wall, then he comes down into Giglio and takes Blake with him to the inside. Blake turns it hard to the right to save him from the inside wall. Blake's car looks okay. Cliff Mullins gets a piece of it. Mike Chris slides down. Let's go with Cliff here in the 37. And we're going to go on board. Let's see what happens for our Daytona winner here. There's the initial contact between the 22 and the Dawson Cram machine. Takes the 26 to the bottom. Cliff thinks he's okay. And then, oh, out of nowhere, Mike Chris up the hill and absolutely obliterates the 37. 37 gets meatballed. So that could be the race depending on how long the damage repair is for our Daytona winner. Cliff Mullins meatballed, as is Mike Christopher in the 22. Both those cars with meatballs. Christopher's car doesn't look that bad. Looks like Andrew Beach also has a meatball. See what happened to the 81 car through all that, because I didn't see much there. Back it up a little bit. What happens to the 81 through this wreck? Let's get our drone shot out if we can before he gets in there. Oh, he's right behind it. Just barely clips him with the right front, and somehow that's a meatball for the 81 team. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal for Andrew Beach there. Pretty harsh meatball there. 26 car seems to have avoided the meatball. Scripture has one in the 18, as we mentioned earlier. Dingman is serving one as well. I don't know if he was in this one or a prior one. He's been 2 minutes on the pit lane, so I think he was in something prior to this. So unfortunate for the 82 team of Mark Dingman as well. One of our open cars trying to stay up in the mix of things. Hayden Knoll out in front, fresh off the pit lane. Looks like we have 2 wave around cars. Hayden's going to choose the top. Wave around's going to the 01 of Casey Graves and the 6 of John Neckrich. That puts John to 1 lap down in the Wannagoons Camaro. Yeah, Trent, that was Dawson Cram, Truck Series driver. Dawson Cram and Mike Chris having a bit of a pissing match. Mike Chris getting a meatball. Phil Schmitz has a black flag. I don't know if he entered closed pit or what in that Jack Daniels car, but probably the issue. He's picked up a black flag. Mike Chris has a meatball. Cliff Mullins has a meatball. Mark Dingman has a meatball. And Travis Scripture all sitting on the pit lane with damage repair meatballs. Field works into turn number 3. We have Madigan and Lull teammates at Madigan Motorsports on the front row. Row 2 is going to be Dalton Hayes, Ian Montrose. Row 3, Ethan Evers and Lucas Weitzman. I'm going to driver chat back in here.
Hello.
Hello. Perfectly timed. Yeah, Trent, that was such a soft hit, it seemed like, for getting a meatball in the right front. I was a little confused how that one was enough of a hit for a meatball, but here we are. Green flag back out on the air. Hayden Law and Joe Madigan. Hayden gets a nice jump.
Why do I got to pass under yellow?
Because you passed under yellow.
I'm not a genius, but normally it means you pass someone under yellow.
Glad I wasn't the only smartass. Caution out immediately. Dalton Hayes is in it. The 61's in it. Casey Graves going to get in there late.
Hey, Ryan, once we get slowed down the pace car, can you check my right rear?
What happened? It's Dawson Cram going through the middle on Quinn Newton. Newton gets tagged in the left rear and goes around. Thomas Green gets in there and gets heavy damage on the number 3. Dawson Cram getting Quinn Newton there. Go back to the far chase and see what happened. Cram in that white 77. Looks like a little bit of not too smart and a little bit of netcode. Combination is lethal, as Quinn Newton finds out. The 3 Thomas Green now picks up a meatball. Unfortunate for the 3 car, led a lot of this race early on. Dawson Cram is doing a good job filling in for me, apparently. Hayden Law, Joe Madigan, Dalton Hayes, Ian Montrose, Ethan Evers, your top 5. Lucas Weiss sits 6th. Honeycutt in 7th. Heilman in 8th. Dawson Cram, after all that, is 9th. Davis Greenwell 10th. Brian Martin a distant 11th. Trent, right on cue, right? Right on cue. There's Taylor Friday, she's in 12th. Jeremy Scherer 13th. Blake Giglio 14th. Daniel Wallen on the pit lane. Thomas Green picked up a meatball, but his front bumper was laying on the track, and somehow it has magically reattached itself to the front of that Camaro. But you see, that right front tire is not supposed to be pointed that far to the right. We'll see if he is able to get that thing quickly fixed, or if that is a long-term damage. Philip Schmitz, once again, has a black flag to serve. Yours was like that too, Cody? Oof. Your right front not supposed to point that way. It's very ungood. Very, very ungood for your car. Tire wear you thought was bad already. It'd be so much worse. Let's see if we can chat with Hayden here. Have a quick thought on what he has to say. Hayden! I'll track him down eventually. Maybe. Possibly. Hayden, DG, you got a copy?
Heard of them.
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Well, we're on lap 124 and about to be 125 of 200. And I don't know. Just what's your thoughts on this race so far? It seems a bit wild.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. Dawson feels kind of bad. He realizes he fucked up on that one, and we let him know he fucked up.
Well, that's good. I'm glad he's aware at least.
Yeah, he knows that one was not good. Yeah, but we're sitting pretty good here, leading the race with Joseph on the front row with coming to 75 to go. Still got a pit stop, but feel like definitely a top 5 car, and if things fall the right way, we can definitely win this race. What
was the team's opinion on Dawson Cram versus 22 Mike Christopher?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I know they weren't happy with Mike Chris for something, and Dawson therefore wasn't going to give him much room, and it just everything happened.
It's one of those dick measuring contests that went bad.
Yeah, we're racing someone because of how someone raced our teammate. I'm guilty of that too, but I don't feel like we should be doing that until they race someone personally a bad way.
10-4. Well, it's been quite interesting out there, and I don't know, I'm entertained. Hopefully you are as well from behind the wheel. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Swiss.
Hayden back down in his chat as we go back green flag racing. You only know because someone threw a bumper at you, Jesus. And Law gets the green flag here. Jumps out to the lead as he had chosen the top. Breaks out in front of teammate Joseph Madigan. Ian Montrose on the outside. The DoorDash Toyota trying to follow his way through there. And you have Dalton Hayes and Lucas Hoyspa 4th and 5th. Levi Howman in 6th. Ethan Evers 7th. Ryan Honeycutt 8th. And also Cam Davis Greenwell rounding out in the top 10. Man, that shot came right at us, didn't it? Right into our living room. Pretty wild. Wild stuff. Trying out all of our new cameras. Thanks to Neo. Neo did buy us this camera pack, so I appreciate him. Ian Montrose is trying to go for the lead here in that old DoorDash Toyota. Got it wound up on the high side. Lucas Hoytzel giving him a bit of a push. I promise you, it's not, the super speedway style new Atlanta. This is old Atlanta, but they are treating it like a bit of new Atlanta. Their cars are a bit drafty. And they are showing it off. While the tires are new, then they wear out, and it gets a lot less like this, which makes it kind of like Vegas in the trucks. Montrose out in front in the number 1 DoorDash car. Let's see if he can make it back to the line up there, and I think he will. Montrose pick up a bonus point for his season. Good to see for the Montrose team, his first race of the year. He did not come out for Daytona, but he told me he had nothing else to do tonight. He'll come race, and there he is, number 1. Ian Montrose leading at Atlanta. Field gets single file back to about Ethan Evers. He is battling the 55 Ryan Heilman. 8 car Evers. We've seen this a couple of times where he just burns up the good on those tires early on. Not afraid to get to the top and use what they got. Evers up to that 5th spot around Dalton Hayes and Levi Heilman. Levi now moves up there in that old 55 Big C's diecast Mustang. Hayden Lowell's been moved off the bottom. Lucas Weissma up to 2nd. Lowell and Madigan settle in 3rd and 4th, and Ethan Evers will probably try to push to the outside on those two, and does as predicted. Ethan Evers using up the new on those tires. The Madigan Motorsports car is trying to save the new on theirs. Montrose looks like he's given the top to the 4 car. I don't know if Lucas is pushing that hard, but yes, he is. Lucas going to go to the outside on the leader. Ian Montrose try to keep his Mustang up there and take the race lead down the backstretch. Hayden Lowell's going to put it on 3 wide here. He moves to the inside of Ian Montrose. And race leaders on lap 130 going 3 wide. And Lucas around the outside sweeps around to the lead in the Busch Apple car. See if Hayden can get him at the line, but I think it's going to be Lucas, and it is. Lucas by a nose in the Mustang leads that lap. Got a little 6-pack of cars at the front. 3 cars 2x2. Outside line pushing pretty good. All those red cars working together. Lucas gets out into the lead. Ethan Evers kind of faded back a little bit. He was pushing pretty hard. We got one more pit stop to go according to Hayden. A lot of tire management to get to the end. Kenny wants to see Cram and Honeycutt get into an incident. Oh my gosh. Could be a real entertaining one for Radioactive. Dalton Hayes works to the outside of Hayden Lowell, trying to take 5th away as Hayden still pretty clearly in conservation mode. Dalton hits the outside wall, nearly collects Hayden, then collects Madigan and back into the outside wall. Ethan Evers plows into the back of him, gets Jeremy Scherer, and that should be a caution as they are, yep, indeed, 7th caution of the race. Dalton Hayes gets collected there. That started early with Dalton, and it just kept getting worse as things went along. Jeremy Scherer, unfortunately, has picked up a meatball, as has Dalton Hayes, but Dalton pretty clear. That car needs some help. Right front's not even rolling on the 47. Let's get out the old drones and see how this one breaks down. Well, it started with Dalton Hayes going through the front stretch not very well. Dalton's on the outside, coming out of turn number 4, hits the outside wall, then has to save it off of Hayden. He's out of shape, gets tagged by Madigan as he's trying to save it. Then Ethan Evers gets in the back of him, and Jeremy Scherer, wrong place, wrong time. The 2, Derek Forrest, flies in there and collects the left front. And that is basically the end of the 15 and the 47 for this race, as Jeremy Scherer, minding his own business, having a really good race. Seen up in the top 5 multiple times, but unfortunately this gets collected in somebody else's mistake. Oh my gosh, how does the 2 get through there? Oh, where is he? Derek Forrest, the 2, has a meatball, so he didn't get through there very good. This is why you slow down for wrecks. Watch the 2. Accidents happening. He's still full throttle. Oh my gosh. Didn't seem like a lot, but picked up a meatball there for the 2 team. Car was first car 1 lap down. Well, yeah, that 2 car did not break, I don't think, at all. We got split strategies here on the pit calls. Ryan Honeycutt on the pit lane in the 51, as is Dawson Cram. Thomas Green, obviously that car's needed damage repair, so he's going to come down and probably fix a little more. Dave Hoyts was on the pit lane. Dalton Hayes obviously had the meatball. Ethan Evers obviously caught up in that one. Evers with a meatball as well. Philip Schmitz back down there. He's finally cleared the black flag for the 07, so that's good. Looks like Casey Graves might be our lucky dog. Casey back on lead lap, currently shown 15th after passing the cars that were on the pit lane. But of course, if he is lucky dog, he'll have to go to the tail of the lead lap, which would plop him 20th, I think, as long as those cars on the pit lane stay won the lead lap. So we started with 38. We got 20 still in the lead lap. First car 1 lap down. John Nickrich in 21st. Jeremy Scheer obviously off the lead lap now, serving that meatball, having to get a lot of damage repaired. Could be some more cars falling off the lead lap. Russell Harreld a lap down. Cody said he was hungry, sorry. All those meatballs. 76 could have lifted instead of hitting Dalton. That is possible. Maybe he didn't want to. Let's go find out. Dalton's still in chat. Let's talk to him. Dalton, DG, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, looks like it was kind of wild out there. What happened from your perspective?
I grazed the wall, and then I had it collect it, and I got full throttled from the 76. Nothing surprising.
Well, there you go. Dalton Hayes thinking the 76 got a good piece of him. You got a meatball picked up out there. How long is it going to take him to fix it?
We're junk.
Junk, so that's the end of the race for the 47?
I don't know if it's the end of the race. Once I have my required done, I'll see where we're at position-wise, but probably, more than likely. But yeah, you can't do much whenever a car just full throttles you with only getting into your left rear on the straightaway at Atlanta.
10-4. Good luck getting it back out there.
Thanks.
Dalton Hayes in the 47. Let's get the other side of the story. I'd like to do some fair and equal reporting. Joseph Madigan,
yeah.
DG, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, well, we heard from the 47. We wanted to get your take on what happened there through the quad oval.
Yeah, he knocked the fence down on exit to the corner, and I had such a huge run there that I didn't want to go bottom and have him come down and run straight into me. So it's my fault, but you know, it's a racing daily. Probably shouldn't have hit the fence. So that's my take.
10-4. Let you get back to it. Good luck.
10-4.
I'd like to let everybody at least say their piece. And there you go. 76 said he probably shouldn't hit the outside wall. Madigan battling up here in the top 5. Lucas Hoisman out in front. Ian Montrose trying to get back up there in the DoorDash car. Hayden Law is there. Madigan, Giglio, your top 5. Levi Heilman is there. Davis Greenwell, haven't seen him up towards the front much today, but here he is in the 20 for low drag. Dawson Cram just high-five Daniel Llewellyn through the corner. That got sketchy. Brian Martin there as well in the number 54 Mustang. I believe we still have a pit stop to go. I don't think we're in our window yet. Oh, Dawson Cram sliding up into Daniel. Daniel's going to bounce it off the fence, then bounce it off the 77, back to the outside wall hard for the 23, and that may be his race. Daniel Llewellyn smacked the outside wall hard as crap right in front of Casey Graves. Oh my gosh, Daniel hang on to it, man. Into the inside wall. Not going well for Daniel, and he has picked up a meatball. Daniel Llewellyn. Car junked there after that one. Was on the lead lap when that happened. Out in front, it is Lucas Hoysa, Ian Montrose, and Joe Madigan, your top 3. You have Hayden Long. I think Blake Giglio just kissed the wall there coming out of 4. That's Honeycutt trying to go through the middle in the all-black Mustang. Dawson Cram right there as well. A lot of Madigan Motorsports cars up in the top 10. Currently being led by low drags Lucas Hoytsman. C2X is Ian Montrose. Blake Giglio drops down. Looking to go to the inside on Ian Montrose, take over the second spot. Haven't seen a lot of Toyotas to the front tonight, but here are 2 of them in the top 3. See if Blake can pick up a lap lead there. It was really close at the line. Could not tell who it gave it to. It may have been Lucas still. Can't believe how drafty this track is going in the Gen 6s. I thought they would spread out a little bit more. And it takes about 10 laps till the tires start to get worn out, and then they start to get single file. And here goes the 51 Ryan Honeycutt around the outside of Lucas Hoytsma. Oof. Dawson Cram got really crossed up coming out of turn number 4. Good job saving the race car, but man, that was sketchy. You see the 36 up into the mix. 36 is off the lead lap as Brockton Packard 5 laps down. We have 19 on the lead lap after all is, well, actually 16 on the lead lap after all is said and done from that last incident, last caution. Daniel Lawallen, the most recent to fall off that lead lap with his meatball. Tough break for Daniel. Had a good race going. Yeah, we had a couple of decent long green flag runs, but don't think we've seen... I think our one caution came out right in the middle of our green flag stops. Report from the 32, sorry, backwards in this series. 32 car, Daniel Lawallen is it's 14 minutes of repair required for the 23/32. Who used the Sidewinder? He's normally 23. Brian Martin going around for 7th around Ian Montrose. Montrose was up towards the front. He's kind of steadily falling back. Dawson Cram, Ryan Honeycutt at the front of the field, along with Brockton Packard. Brockton now 4 laps down, so he's gone around all the leaders. He would like a caution to come out so he can get all the way back around in that number 36 Niner car. So the lead car is the second one in line, the white 77 on the screen, which is 41 on your scoreboard. Dawson Cram. Ryan Honeycutt rides second. Lucas Hoytsma in third. Then Blake Giglio 4th. Joe Madigan 5th. Hayden Law 6th. Brian Martin, Ian Montrose, Taylor Friday, and Philip Schmitz. That's 2 Schmitz 5A racing cars up into the top 10. Haven't seen a lot of them tonight, but there they are. Andrew Beach, he's had a struggle, had a meatball. Made his way back up onto the lead lap, and by golly, he's cracking on the top 10. They're running 11th. Almost 75% distance, about 5 laps away. It's definitely been an adventure out here tonight. A little bit of everything going on. Friendly reminder for those of you over on the Twitch page, anyone that puts in a gifted sub or cheers would take over the lead for Sunday, and that would mean you'd be on my car for Monday. If you wanted to be on my trunk, sponsor the trunk for Monday night, a gifted sub or a cheer would get you to the lead, and whoever's leading at the end of the night in either of those categories gets on the trunk for our Monday night ARCA race, so that's fun. Dawson Cram continues to lead, and they have broken away Cram and Honeycutt from the rest of the field. Hoytsma is about 1.4 back. Hoytsma seems to be in conservation mode. Friday and Madigan battle side by side, 77-76. You have 56, 26, all right there together. Philip Schmitz, Brian Martin, Ian Montrose. Cody gets in a sub to Kenny. Kenny picks up a sub. Appreciate you, Cody. Cody gets the gifted sub spot for now, unless someone outdoes him and gives 2 away. No more ads, hell yeah. Congrats, Kenny, on getting a gifted sub from Cody. Appreciate you, Cody. Thank you so much for that. Checking in a little further back. So we've checked the top 10 a few times. Remember Andrew Beach in 11th, and Levi Heilman has this Big C's diecast car in 12th. Lucas Hoytsma rides 13th. Dave Hoytsma rides 13th. Lucas is up in 3rd, so they both got 3 spots. Carl Rotman sits there 14th. Carl coming back from some health things, so it's cool to see him out here having such a good run on a long race like this. Casey Graves, that car has been struggling with that damage ever since he got into that one incident. Back on the lead lap, he's hoping for some more cautions to come down and work on that car some more. He's still plugging along, trying to get the best finish he can in 16th. So it looks like we got about 15 healthy cars on the lead lap. Taylor Friday going the long way around Lucas. Up on the top side, takes over 3rd, and I don't think Lucas is too upset about that. Have someone to draft off of now. And Dalton Hayes with no front end out there. 13 laps down for the USA car in 24th. A lot of attrition in this race, surprisingly so. Wouldn't think this race would lend itself to a lot of multi-car incidents, but as drafty as it is at the early part of these runs, apparently it has been much more attrition than anticipated. Honeycutt, Cram, and then Friday. Friday 2 seconds back now as this group seems to be trying to save tires. The front group seems to be wanting to just get away. Packard has gone back down to 4 laps down. Actually shows 5 laps down now for Packard. Ryan Honeycutt in the black Mustang leads. Dawson Cram second in the 77 machine, which is just ahead of the actual 77. Taylor Friday, that's not confusing at all. Friday running the high line, just ahead of Lucas Heusler. And Joe Madigan sucked in there. Philip Schmitz running 6th. And Friday and Schmitz moving up into the top 6 for both of them on that team. Blake Giglio rides 8, just behind Hayden Law, then Brian Martin, Ian Montrose. Montrose then has about a second and a half over Andrew Beach. And Beach has a massive gap over Levi Heilman because the other cars around Beach are not on the lead lap. Heilman rides 12th. 33 laps on the stint for Heilman, so definitely one more pit stop to go for these guys. Carl Ratman sits in 13th, Dave Hoisman 14th, Davis Greenwell 15th, and Casey Graves, remember, heavily damaged on the right front, trying to stay on this lead lap. Currently 15 seconds behind the race leader, and the laps are about 32 seconds, so a half lap down for Casey Graves. Trying to stay on the lead lap with cautions. Worked out for him so far. Not a lot of battles going on. It seems like people are trying to play the strategy game now. Friday not helping Lucas as much as Lucas might like. Honeycutt and Cram brought their cars down on that caution about 19 laps ago. Lucas Heusler and Joe Madigan did not. And that is why the top cars have pulled away. Battling going on back here. Dave Hoisman and Carl Rotman, 13th place. A couple of Mustangs going at it. Just ahead of Davis Greenwell. It's Levi Heilman ahead of them. All 4 of those cars are for position. So we have 45 laps to go from Atlanta. The Atlanta 300. And SIDECAR Sunday Gen 6 Cup League. Part of the Sidewinder Racing League. You can check them all out. Discord.gg/Sidewinder. Open to everybody. Including Xfinity Series driver Dean Thompson and Truck Series driver Dawson Cram. Taylor Friday riding in the 3rd spot. Hoytsman Madigan. Hoytsman Madigan, the first 2 cars that did not come down on that last caution. Riding 4th and 5th, along with Hayden Lowell, Blake Giglio. All of those cars did not pit under that last caution. So Schmitz came down for extensive repairs, almost a minute of repair on that last caution. Probably bolted on a set of tires. Brian Martin did not pit on the last caution as he tags the wall down the backstretch at 54. Working on Philip Schmitz for that 9th spot. And Martin will get the pass done. Blake Giglio, meanwhile, has Hayden Lowell to the inside. Blake was way up on the outside wall. Not sure if the 26 was trying to allow Hayden through or what's going on there. Blake Giglio riding 6 just ahead of Hayden. They make their way around the wounded car of Dalton Hayes once again. 47, no front end. Currently shown 14 laps down, has a lap on Jeremy Scherer. Scherer is back out there in the Burger King car. So Dalton trying to stay ahead of him for position. Cliff Mullins is back out there 11 laps down in the Curly's car. Derek Forrest in the 2, still serving that meatball repair. So the 2 car has a lot of repair work to do. Brockton Packard 5 laps down, running 20th. 3 laps down, Russell Harold in the 19. And then cars 1 lap down, Thomas Green and John Neckrich John currently holds the lucky dog spot. And on the lead lap, Casey Graves praying for that caution. He's now 19 seconds behind the leader and losing time all the time with that right front torn up like it is. Can't be any kind of fun for Casey out there, but he's trying to get as many points as possible. As Cliff Mullins grabbing the wall, probably lost a little bit of focus. Is running mostly by himself there, easy to do. .40 laps to go. Ryan Honeycutt leads Dawson Cram. Interesting to see when this final pit stop comes into play. Cars like Lucas Hoisman. It's been 41 laps since he's been on the pit lane. There's 40 laps to go. Seems like a kind of even keel place to call a pit stop here and make it to the end if you split it in half, but that's assuming it goes green. We've had a lot of yellow up to this point, but we have also lost a lot of cars, so we could have it clean now and have it get to the end. Bumblebee, welcome on in. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Welcome to the Swiss Army. Sidewinder community as a whole. Check us out on Discord, discord.gg/Sidewinder. You can be part of our action. Ryan Honeycutt continues to lead. Dawson Cram has fallen back about a second and a half off our leader. Its higher strategy starting to come into play, it would look. Taylor Friday is starting to catch up. Now 6/10 between Dawson Cram and Taylor Friday. I think Cram may have had a bit of an issue off a corner and lost a bunch of time in one lap for that gap to open up and for Friday and Hoisman to be catching up. That seems the likely scenario. We just missed the Dawson Cram machine having some kind of issue. Heck yeah, Bumblebee. We appreciate you. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Sunday night. Had a good weekend. So we have a handful of laps to go in our Atlanta 300. Remember, you can sponsor any of these races for just $5. Hit me up in the Discord and we can get you taken care of, and you can sponsor one of our races, and that helps us put on all these shows for you. Let's check back in around Lucas Weitzman. He's putting pressure on Taylor Friday for third now. Number 4, Bush Apple Ford, trying to get past that number 77 Chevrolet. There's two of them nose to tail, but it's the darker one. Lucas peeks to the inside of Taylor Friday. Nothing doing there. Friday takes that outside exit and gets a good run down the straightaway. Not a whole lot of battles going on. A lot of nose to tail waiting for that final pit stop, it looks like. People trying to get to a certain number, I do believe. Is our leader in the black Mustang, then Dawson Cram in the white Camaro. Taylor Friday in the black and white Camaro. And Lucas Hoisman in the red Ford. Joe Madigan, multicolored Mountain Dew Ford. Yellow, white, and orange. Rides in the 5th spot. Blake Giglio, the orange racing machine, currently in 6th. Pretty good recovery for the number 26 after the incident that he was in. Went sliding towards the inside wall, able to keep it off the fence and not get a meatball, so that was really good driving. Hayden Law sits in 7th, trying to track down Blake. Brian Martin, a distant 8th. 2 seconds behind Hayden. Brian has the Jack Daniels car of Philip Schmitz and DoorDash car of Ian Montrose just behind him. That is the back part of the top 10, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Plus the lap machine of Dalton Hayes with no nose as he continues to circulate and try to stay ahead of Jeremy Scherer. Scherer is back out there, and I believe Ethan Evers is back out there, the 8 car. He had 17 laps worth of repairs, 10 minutes in the pit lane, but he is back out there for Gearhead Racing. 25th spot, trying to get what he can. Daniel Llewellyn still sits in the pit lane. He's fallen to 26th. Quinn Newton brings it in 27th. He passes Daniel Llewellyn on the way in. And Quinn getting pit service here under green. Just 33 laps to go from Atlanta. Getting this long green flag run looking, and Hayden Lowell has brought it to the pit lane. The Napa car decided it is time to pit. 33 laps to go. He's going to be the first one on fresh tires in the Napa car. Usually he runs long and lets everyone else short pit, but here he is other way around. Also on the pit lane is Carl Rotman, but Carl picked up a black flag. Not sure what happened to the 25 car, but things have gone awry for him. Ryan Honeycutt continues to lead as we wait for more pit stops. Taylor Friday has decided it's time. Brought the black and white 77 Camaro to the pit lane. So that is another one off of the lead lap to the pit lane. And now the tire strategy becomes all important. Will we see Ryan Honeycutt try to be the first one to the pit lane, or will we see Dawson Cram try to short pit? Neither one of them pit this time by. See if we get anyone that does. It's Taylor Friday heading back out, as is Carl Rotman. Davis Greenwell onto the pit lane in the 20 low drag machine. That leaves us with 12 cars on the lead lap. Last of those being Casey Graves right there. And there is our leader, Ryan Honeycutt, coming to get him. Graves going to run the tank dry and pray for a caution, I assume. That's what I would do. Hayden Lowell on the fresh tires. First one back out onto the racetrack. He's currently sitting 13th. Dave Hoytsman's hit the pit lane in the number 79. Dave puts on 4 tires, headed back out in his Realtree Ford. 11 cars still in a lead lap, all still needing to make a pit stop. What is important is where they compare to the 56 of Hayden Lowell. Hayden has the fresh rubber. He's going to burn to the inside of the one of Montrose. He would be the lucky dog if we get a caution during the pit cycle. Right now he is the first car 1 lap down in 12th. Of course, that is a fluid situation. Could change at any moment. Lucas Hoytsman battling Dawson Cram. Cram gets the outside wall coming out of 4. That was a pretty hard hit. I think Hoytsman might get him here. Lucas trying to clear down into turn 1. Cram keeps it throttled up on the outside, not giving up. That is impressive. After bouncing off the fence, I don't know if I'd have the courage to do that. Cram throttles it up out of 2. Hangs onto the spot. Now Lucas has to deal with Joe Madigan on the outside. Madigan clears Hoytsma. And will Lucas drop off and get the pit stop here before anyone else? And it looks like the 76 and the 4 are coming down, and Ryan Honeycutt and Blake Giglio. We got 4 of them hitting the pit lane at the same time, all leaving Dawson Cram out to dry. Brian Martin stays out, but Ryan Honeycutt, Joseph Madigan, Lucas Hoytsma, and Blake Giglio all on the pit lane together. I believe Ian Montrose has come down. Levi Heilman stays out. Philip Schmitz has come down, so lap number 170 seems to be the lap for everyone to come pit. Dawson Cram, Martin, Heilman, and Beach all stay out. And Cram's going to stay out another one. I'm a little surprised. B-Roy is going to bring it down. Brings the 54 Mustang to the pit lane speed. Check on Levi and his Ford. 52 laps and counting for Levi Heilman, and he'll bring the Big C's diecast Mustang down to the pit lane. Andrew Beach brings his Viva La Underdogs car down. Side pipes on the hood. Casey Graves about the last one out there. Casey Graves and leader Dawson Cram. Graves probably going to run the tank dry, as I mentioned, and pray for the caution. Here comes Dawson Cram, race leader. Decided it is time. He gets in there really hot in the 77. We'll keep an eye, see if he picked up the black flag or not, but that could have been. I don't see one yet. That's impressive. Fortunate for Cram not to pick one up there. Got under the pit lane really hot. Into the box goes Cram. Casey Graves. I'm sure only car still out on track. I'm sure he'll pass Dawson Cram here, but he is going to probably ring to the pit lane here. And there's the 19 coming down with him. And they both get down to pit lane speed, so unfortunately Casey Graves won't lead a lap with that broken car, which I was kind of hoping for, but here goes Hayden Lowell. Hayden has Taylor Friday right behind him. And that is going to be your race leader now. 7 laps on the tires for Hayden. Lucas has fresh tires coming out of turn number 2. The gap is 2.6 seconds. Lucas has 4 to 5 lap fresher tires than the top 2 cars. We'll see if he's able to parlay that into a stronger run and catch up to them. 27 laps to go from Atlanta. 51 must have had issues on pit. Let me check. Ryan Honeycutt, 14-second stop, 54 seconds on the pit lane, so had issues getting into the box, would be my guess, or maybe spun it out for Ryan Honeycutt. Lost about 10 seconds on pit lane, but not in the box. That's a little surprising for the 51 team. Maybe overshot the box, had to back it up. Maybe spun it out, too much rear brake. Could have been any combination of things. We didn't see him on and off the pit lane, but that looks to be where the situation would lie, as the timing and scoring never lies. Friday in second. Madigan battling Hoytsma for third. A little surprised that Hoytsma not pushing a little harder. 25 laps to go, though. Maybe he's expecting that late race SRL traditional caution. We do tend to get them late. Taylor Friday putting it on Hayden Lowell. Pressure. These two race one another. Joseph Madigan and Lucas Hoytsma try to catch up with fresher rubber, as does Blake Giglio in 5th. Dawson Cram Led a lot there towards the end. Stayed out longer than everyone. Now has the freshest tires and going to be on the tear. Goes around the 2 car as Cliff Mullins passes the 2. That was pretty wild. All the way to the top, picking up 2 cars track position wise. Still sits 6. None of those are positioned. Brian Martin has company. Ian Montrose, that is for position. One of the closer battles on track, along with Dave Hoytsma and the 51 Ryan Honeycutt. Ryan probably trying to make up for whatever mistake happened on the pit lane. Jeremy Scherer tags the fence there in the 15. Scherer 14 laps down in 24th. "23 laps to go from Atlanta. Pit stop should be all done. Everyone should be able to get to the end, and as long as there's no caution. But if we get a caution, the tires are so important here. We will see them come down and take tires. All a matter of who, where, how many tires, what position they come out in, who stays out. Could be quite a mixed bag if we get a caution. Right now, this is your battle for the race lead. Hayden Lowell, Taylor Friday, then Joe Madigan's closing in along with Lucas Hoytsma. So these 4 cars nose to tail. That is your top 4. And a big gap back to Blake Giglio. The Reese's car is sitting in 5th. Taylor Friday looking to the top here on Hayden. Right on the outside wall. That is about as close as you can get to it without touching it. Friday putting all kinds of pressure on Hayden. May have gotten into the back bumper a little bit there in corner entry. We saw Hayden's car dancing side to side. 21 laps to go. Friday to the outside for the race lead down the backstretch at Atlanta. Hayden trying to side draft, but not going to work as much as he would like it to. Teammate Joseph Madigan going to look at the middle here. It's Friday all the way to the top. Madigan through the middle. They both pass Hayden Lowell. Madigan trying to get away from Lucas Hoytsma because Lucas is on the same tire strategy. Lucas just closes in and stays right in Hayden Lowell's tire tracks. Joseph Madigan breaks out to the lead with 20 to go. We'll see how much the draft plays a factor here. Lucas stays 4th car in line. I'm a little surprised. Didn't try to keep pace with the Joseph Madigan machine. Madigan out front. Taylor Friday rides 2nd. Hayden Lowell 3rd. Lucas Hoytsma 4th. These 4 cars have over 2 seconds now over Blake Giglio in 5th. 20 laps to go. Do we see one of those typical late race cautions? 180 complete. Just 19 to go. Blake Giglio, Dawson Cram trade the 5th spot. Dawson Cram able to run down the Reese's car. Dawson now 5th. Blake in 6th. You have Martin trying to hold off Montrose. Back up front, here's your 4-pack of cars. Right now, Lucas Hoytsma is past Hayden Lowell, trying to make it past Taylor Friday. And we'll see if Lucas is able to track down the 76 of Madigan. Lucas has cleared the 2nd. 2 cars now out front have equal tires, both pitted 11 laps ago. And they have 4 to 5 lap pressure tires in the 2 cars they just got around. So now it comes down to Madigan and Hoytsma. Who can manage their tires best over the next 17 laps? As they cross the stripe. Click off another lap from the counter. I'm nervous. Cody Brown chat saying, let's go Lucas, I'm drinking a Busch Light Apple right now. Are you drinking it because we're rooting for Lucas? Or are you rooting for Lucas because you're drinking one? And to be clear, both is an acceptable answer. Both is the answer from the 17 camp. See the battle on for 3rd between Hayden Lowell and Taylor Friday. Dalton Hayes coming up once again with the modified. The new SIDECAR still out there putting down the laps to hang on to the position he has. Currently 23rd, has Jeremy Scherer trying to pass him for that. Quinn Newton still sits on the pit lane. I think he's going to be done in 27th. Caught Dalton Hayes here to awkward spot. Madigan had to go around the high side. Well, Lucas had to readjust his corner exit, and that's just going to hurt the 4-car on speed down the straightaway. Madigan takes advantage, picks up a couple of hundredths. And Hoytsma going to have to make that back up. And here come Dawson Cram and Blake Giglio. They are reeling in this lead group, trying to make it a 6-car pack. Working their way towards this front of this group. All right. Out front, Joe Madigan, Lucas Hoytsma, Taylor Friday, Hayden Lull, Dawson Cram, Blake Giglio, Brian Martin. Your top 7. Brian about 5 seconds back of this group, but hey, he's in 7th, and it counts whether or not he's up in the group or far back there. Still 7th. Down to 13 to go from Atlanta. Sun's starting to set a little bit. See these shadows getting longer. Could be playing havoc with the track conditions out there as the track's starting to cool down. The sun angle getting low like that. Madigan, Hoytsma, Friday, Lull, Cram, and Giglio. They're all there now. Top 6. Battle it out. Oh my goodness. Taylor Friday just bounced it off the wall. Didn't seem to slow down that 77 very much. Hoytsma keeping it right around the bottom. Have to figure he is still in conservation mode. Carl Rotman gets the 25 down and out of the way. Nice sportsman-like move. Didn't want to interfere with the lead battle. Carl, of course, a car owner in this series as well. He paid for 2 of the charters. Pretty cool of Carl to do that for us. Get some extra drivers out here. Those of you looking for a charter, there may be one for sale coming up. Just to let you know. I've got rumors in my inbox of someone that thinks he's go a little too late on Sunday nights and they are going to be able to sell it. I know there's quite a few of you that were open cars looking to buy a full charter. Across the stripe, 10 laps to go. Presented by Big C's Diecast. 10 laps left in this race here at Atlanta, in the Atlanta 300. 190 of them complete. Just 10 left to go. And Lucas Hoytsma is starting to inch in on the back bumper of that number 76. You'll bully that person into not selling their charter. I mean, you can buy it from them and then just have nobody fill it. Ooh, contact. 77 into the outside walls. Blake Giglio gets by in the 26, up to 3rd for the Reese's car. The 77. Taylor Friday got a little tight against the wall, bounced off of it. Fortunate not to hit another car. And here comes low drag teammate to Lucas Hoytsma. Blake Giglio up into 3rd. Going to put the pressure on the 4 car. Maybe they'll work together to get past this race-leading Joseph Madigan machine. So Giglio running a lane up in the Toyota. Cody, you'll have to let me know what it's like to drink a Busch Light apple and have a Reese's at the same time. I don't think I've ever had a Busch Light apple. I'm not opposed to them. I like the old Red's apple ale stuff. Oh, Blake Giglio just throttles it up on the outside of the 4 car of Lucas Hoytsma. Gets to the throttle quicker, hangs it in there, and he'll get clear to 2nd. Here comes Blake Giglio. He has equal tires to Madigan and Hoytsma. He's going to try to go on the outside of Madigan. Didn't quite get it out there. They're catching the 81. Andrew Beach. Of course, if you heard the podcast about Beach and Giglio working together in the Truck Series, maybe we'll have a return favor here. Nope. Beach gets it up high enough and out of the way. Madigan through the middle. Giglio around the white line, side by side, coming off the corner. Where does Lucas go? Does he try to help Blake? He's going to line up with the Reese's car, try to push him down the straightaway. He gets all kinds of out of shape. Down into turn 3 they go. Blake Giglio drives it in there deep, tries to clear. He's going to slide it up in front of Madigan. Madigan probably going to cross him over here. Looking to the inside. Bounces it off the fence and Giglio sideways. And that's going to be Blake Giglio into the outside wall hard. And the 26 car spins on the front stretch. That shall be our caution. 8th caution of the race. Blake Giglio got sideways, battling for the race lead. And the Reese's car has a destroyed right front. And that car will take a tow to the pit lane. Probably rather disappointed after all that work he did to get back up there. Let's take a look at it from our chase cams and see what happens. Obviously, Madigan was going to plan that crossover all along. They make a little contact off the corner, and I don't know if netcode was in there or not. That's why we need to get our drones to check it out. Here's Lucas trying to give Blake a push. Gave him a pretty good shot out of turn 2, down into 3. Blake drives it on down in there, trying to get clear. Gets clear of Madigan. Madigan gets the plan in there to try and get back to the inside. Hoyts was in there. They're 3 wide. And that is so hard to call whether that was net code or just ran out of room between them all. Take one more look at it. It looks like they were just right on top of each other, just hard racing. Not a lot of room off that corner and just got caught out. Really good racing. Unfortunate. Took out Blake Giglio. Let's see if we can get a chat with our driver of the 26 and get his take on it. We should see pit stops here. Blake, DG, you got a copy? Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, it was going pretty good. You put on a good show there. Unfortunately, came out the worst of it there at the end of that. What happened out there from your perspective?
Yeah, we were going for it. We had good long run speed, and I was just happy to be up there racing with him. And I can't review what happened. I know we were 3 wide. I felt like high as I could go, and I think got sandwiched a little bit there. But that's part of it. It's a fun race here at Atlanta. We saved our tires good. I remember 26 Reese's machine was fast, so that's all you can really hope for, right?
Sam 4, you put on a show and it was entertaining, and we appreciate you for it. Sorry you had to go out early, but it is what it is. That's racing sometimes.
It is what it is. It's fun, right?
All right, bud. Well, see if they can't get it somewhat fixed and back out there. Good luck.
It ain't getting fixed.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Blake Giglio into 16 saying it is destroyed. Lucas Hoysa meanwhile wins the race off the pit road. Everybody taking 4 tires here as Atlanta absolutely brutal on tires. So Lucas, Madigan, Hayden Lowell, Dawson Cram, Taylor Friday, Ian Montrose, Brian Martin. Even though we're going into what appears to be green-white checker territory, everybody comes down for the 4 tires because it is Atlanta and you will need them. Andrew Beach down there in the 81. Looks like he is now on the lead lap. John Neckrich going to take the wave around. He'll be back on the lead lap. I believe that's Jeremy Scherer in the 15. Scherer's going to pick up a lap and go to what appears to be 15 laps down. Question mark. Dalton Hayes also going to take the wave around, so not going to help Scherer at all as they'll still be on the same 1 lap apart deal. Casey Gray is going to take a wave around. That'll put Casey 1 lap down in the 01. Puts him in the lucky dog spot, actually, as Casey Graves leads Thomas Green at the moment. Thomas would be the other car 1 lap down. And there's Andrew Beach just now coming off the pit lane in the 81. Got a little more repairs for his machine. Still in the lead lap at 14th. Field bunches up double file. Nobody took 2. It is 4 tires all the way down the line. 15, 14 second stops for everybody. Andrew Beach, the 28-second stop because he got some damage work done. Casey Graves, well, he hasn't stopped because he is back out on the track with the wave around. He's now 1 lap down 15th. Thomas Green also took the wave around. He is now 1 lap down in 16th. So there's only 2 cars 1 lap down. They'll battle for the lucky dog. Casey Graves has all the damage, so Thomas Green should have the advantage if they can stay green long enough. But if they crash quickly, Casey Graves, if he stays out of it, would be your lucky dog. Pace cars off. Here we go. Back to green flag action with a natural green-white checker, so this does not count as one of our 3 attempts. Lucas breaks out to the lead. Joe Madigan, Hayden Law, Dawson Cram, and Ian Montrose, your top 5. Cram right on the back of the 76 of Madigan, trying to give him a push through the corner. Let's see how that works as they unfold out of turn number 2. Lucas trying to give help to the inside line, was down there, then jumps up to the top to cut off the run. Drops it back down in front of Hayden. See if he pushes back up on exit to cover the 76's exit. 76 bounces it off the fence. Lucas Hoytsma going to get the white flag. This will be the final lap of the race. We will end in regulation. Hoytsma goes off into turn number 1, and they're wrecking like hell behind. We're going to stay with the front group. We'll come back to that wreck later. Hayden Lowell sits in 2nd. Montrose 3rd. Hayden in the 2nd spot, trying to track down race leader Lucas Hoytsma down the backstretch. Looks like he thought about trying to get to the outside. Lucas wouldn't give it to him. He's pushing up on exit. Hayden trying to put the throttle down, but Lucas has it under control. Lucas Hoytsma in the 4 car, going to get the win. Hayden Lowell 2nd over Ian Montrose. Ryan Honeycutt gets the 4th spot. Levi Heilman appears to have picked up 5th. What a race that was. Lucas Hoysma getting the victory in the number 4. Outstanding job. He's now eligible for the All-Star race along with Cliff Mullins, our Daytona 500 winner. And there you go. Lucas Hoysma getting the job done. Getting congratulations from several drivers in the field. They call him Sky God over in CTC. There's his dad in the 79. See if he comes and gives him a high five. He'll probably do a burnout with him. Comes Cliff Mullins in the 37. It looks like it's on. Party time. See if I have my burnout cam set up. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This one I don't. We'll do it this way. That'll work. Let's grab Lucas, bring him up here. Lucas, DG, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, it was a wild one there. Looked like most of the race you were just kind of biding your time, saving the tires, and worked out for you at the end there. You had enough tire to get up there to the front, and then with the green white checkers, able to put it on them and finally finish off this win. Looked like it was a hell of a lot of fun out there. How was it?
It was. A lot of tire saving tonight. A lot of people didn't seem to want to save tires, so that was definitely my advantage. But early on, we didn't really get those green runs that would help me save them, but at the end, got it when I needed it, saved those tires. Actually reeled them in toward the end of that run after the caution. The guys with 15 lap better tires, so felt pretty good about that, and knew if I just did kind of that same thing at the end, it would work. Unfortunately, that thing at the end, I don't know what happens with Blake and Madigan. I think I pinched a little too high. I was just trying to get next to Madigan and didn't realize he had come down to get inside of Blake, and it just got a little tight there. So I'm sorry to everybody who got involved in that, but and it was a pretty fun night here in Atlanta.
Well, you get to do a burnout with your dad as a race winner in sidecar. How cool does that feel?
Yeah, it is awesome.
Congrats on the win here tonight. It is your first sidecar win, and you get to join Cliff Mullins as eligible drivers for the All-Star race in May, so that's pretty cool. Now go ahead, hit me with your friends, family, sponsor shout-outs while you do your burnouts and send all the smoke everywhere.
Yeah, man, just shout out to Quinn 712 Brakes. Yeah, everybody. Everybody makes the series happen, you especially. Everybody for racing tonight, 38 car field, I think. That's pretty cool. Had some real life guys in here. that was pretty awesome too. And just, everybody else.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming out, putting them on them tonight with the victory here at Atlanta. Hopefully we'll see you back here next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Lucas Hoysma, the 97, getting victory here tonight. See if we can track down the rest of our top 3. We got Hayden Lowell. See if we can track down the driver of that 56. I think he's hanging out with his team still. There he is. Drag him up here. And it's Hayden, DG. You got a copy? Hello?
Hello.
There he is. I don't know why. Always with you. I feel like you never hear me the first time. And I don't think you heard me that time. Hayden?
Hello?
There he is. Hayden. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you. Hello.
Yay. Okay. Well, that was fun. Wild race out there tonight. It looks like, I don't know, you behaved yourself for once. Normally you're pretty aggressive. It looked like tonight you're a little bit conservative out there, making sure you made it to the end first and then put on the moves when it mattered and brought it home P2.
Yeah, longer. Hello, is it picking me up?
Yes.
My Discord seems to be. Okay, cool. Yeah, long race. Just ultimately was trying to make it to the end first. 200 laps. It's a long way to pace yourself. You got to be up front at the end to have a chance to win. Those shorter races, Tuesday night, not necessarily Tuesday night, but you kind of got to be up front at all times because things can kind of shake up however. And tonight, just be patient, keep it on the bottom, keep the right front on it, and had a good shot on that green-white checker. Just Lucas made the right move there going into 3. Really late entry into 3 kept me guessing. I couldn't quite pick a lane to try to have clean air on my nose and just was a little too tight in that dirty air, and Lucas was able to pull away for the win. Still P2, strong points day. I think I was like 5th in the stage or something, 4th in the stage. So good points day. We'll go on to next week, whatever next week is.
Well, one thing I have to ask you is, what was it like in that driver chat and team chat that you had going on down there, Madigan Motorsports, with the Dawson Cram and the 78 Dean Thompson? It had to be pretty wild in there at points.
Yeah, Dean, I think, was nothing of his doing. He tried to call out he was pitting, and his push to talk just didn't work. I feel bad for Mike that he was caught up in that. Dawson, though, we gotta bring Dawson. We gotta sit Dawson down on the hauler. I think it was Quinn that he turned on that restart. He really didn't mean to, whether people believe that or not. He feels bad about it. He didn't mean to. Just he was trying to push and help, and just everyone was all over the place and ended up turning him. He feels bad about that, but otherwise, Ryan and Joseph were fairly behaved. Ryan especially, thank God.
He could be a wild one.
he can be a wild one, yes. And we'll go to Phoenix next week, a short track. I'm sure that'll be totally fine. The tempers will be way less than they were tonight, and
of course.
we'll go try to get more points.
What could go wrong?
36 races. This is all about points. Wins don't lock you in. So points. Lucas said to start the season he didn't plan on running the whole thing. We'll see after 2 good weeks from him if he sticks with that or not.
Well, you ready for me to upset you? It's not Phoenix, it's Coda.
Oh, it is. I can't read, can I?
No.
Huh. All right. Well.
How you feel about Coda?
At least no one from Madigan Motorsports can cause a caution next week.
Very true.
So we'll be fine. Coda, we'll see. The setup is very understeery. Gonna shred the tires off of that thing. It'll be all about keeping the tires underneath it once again, and really just keeping it on track, keeping it straight is gonna be a huge key to success next week at Coda.
Well, we're keeping it the long course since we have so many cars out there instead of going to the short course. So hopefully that'll get you guys spread apart and you won't be running over top of each other, calling each other idiots all race long.
No, that'll still happen. Let's be very clear with everything. That will still happen.
There is still a lap 1 turn 1, so that'll still happen at least once.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, this should be fun. Coda is always entertaining. For one reason or another. We'll just put it that way. P2 tonight. Go ahead, hit me with your friends, family, sponsor shoutouts.
Yeah, Napa Auto Parts, Arc Music, C2X, Madigan Motorsports, and Low Drag Esports as always. U-Swiss and the Ethan Evers podcast for helping with our sidecar broadcasts. All the other partners over at Sidewinder Racing Leagues that put on our 8 different leagues on 6 different days of the week, and everyone for watching. And appreciate everyone for coming out and racing with us, except Dawson Cram.
Well, you said it with confidence tonight with the 8 and the 6. I'm so proud of you. Congrats on the P2 tonight, and get on out of here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back here next week.
Thank you very much, Swiss.
Eventually, I will find how to get you out of the team channel and get you back to where you belong, because I have scrolled up to go to the schedule, and I'm just going to fill this dead air time while I keep talking, and eventually move him into Madigan Motorsports. There we go. Let's go track down the one of Ian Montrose in the DoorDash car. Hopefully he's hanging out. He's in the waiting room. What a good boy. Ian, thank you for making yourself so findable in the waiting room. I appreciate you.
I try my best, you know.
Well, you went from not even inside car about an hour before the race to in it through an open car into qualifying. Didn't have enough cars here to knock anybody out, so you didn't have to sweat that out. And then you bring it home P3. How was it to join it right before and go get a podium and an interview tonight?
Yeah, we didn't even turn a practice lap, I don't think. But yeah, it's always fun to run Old Atlanta. Had a strong car. I was trying to save as much, and we still made our way through the pack, even though we were saving. So it's cool that the strategy played out. And apologies to Dawson. My spotter was telling me that it was the final lap and didn't call it was 3 wide, so apologies for that. That was my fault. But I absolutely sent him in turn 1. I feel really bad about it, but it got us the P3, so it was not intentional. It was just I didn't get it called out. But other than that, it was a pretty strong race. I had a good time, had a blast.
Well, there are some people that were kind of unhappy with that 77 car, so I don't think a lot of people are going to be upset at you. Just maybe the 77
he didn't
himself.
do anything to me, so I mean, I did hear about some other situations, but he didn't do it to me. So apologies on my behalf, but on everybody else's.
Nearly had a run on Hayden there coming to the line too. What did you maybe need? Another half lap to get him?
Yeah, honestly, Hayden took a different line in, which I think compromised his exit. But no, I don't think he was worried too much about it, and I made it more of a thing than it needed to be. But yeah, you know, wanted to make him sweat for a little second there. So yeah.
Informal.
Every
Congrats.
point counts.
Congrats on the strong run here in your first race in sidecar. Go ahead, hit me with the Friends Family sponsor shoutouts for your podium tonight.
Well, I want to shout out Eva's Fever podcast. You can find it on all good podcast platforms and some shit ones too. I want to thank DG yourself for putting on the league and broadcasting tonight.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Got you, man. And then C2X. Everybody at C2X for racing tonight, and yeah, for everybody racing. It was fun. It was a good time.
Now, on Sundays, is Hayden considered C2X, or is he just Madigan Motorsports?
I think he's okay. That's a controversial topic, and thanks for throwing me the softballs. Yeah, I don't know what his status is anymore. I mean, yeah, you'd have to ask the head of HR and the team for that.
We'll send that one to HR. That sounds good. All right, man. Congrats on that P3 run, and hopefully we'll see you back here aboard next week.
Yes, sir. Have a good evening. Take
It
care.
is COTA. How do you feel about road courses in this thing?
Yeah, it'll always be fun. And yeah, I love road courses in stock cars. It's just a lot of fun. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. So I wouldn't worry about it. There'll be excitement guaranteed, is what I'll say.
At least for a lap.
For sure. Let's just hope I'm not one of them. Yeah.
All right. Well, congrats on the P3. Get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night, and we'll see you back here next week.
Take care, dude. Have a good one.
Ian Moncho is always a fun interview. Brings it home P3 in the DoorDash Toyota. And that is going to do it for our broadcast tonight. Let's go ahead and run through our final results so we can get the bills paid and get on out of here. We got, once it pops up, Lucas Hoytsma getting the win tonight. I wanted to make sure you get his car in the background too. Lucas with the win. You have Hayden Lull, Ian Montrose on the podium, Honeycutt, and Heilman rounding out your top 5. Then Dave Hoytsma, the father of Lucas, the winner. Then you have Philip Schmitz, Davis Greenwald, Dawson Cram, and Joseph Madigan rounding out the top 10. Page number 2, Andrew Beach, Taylor Friday, Brian Martin, John Neckers, Thomas Green, Casey Graves, Russell Harold. You have Brockton Packard, Blake Giglio, and Carl Rotman. Tougher Blake, all the way down there in 19th, 6 laps down. Brutal. Derek Forrest, Cliff Mullins, Dalton Hayes, Jeremy Scherer, Ethan Evers, Daniel Lawal, and Quinn Newton, Josh Mayu, Mike Chris, and Mark Dingman rounding out your top 30. And the final group, Garrett Warren, Carson Bechtel, Travis Scripture, Dean Thompson, Mike Edwards, Travis Martin, Kenny Frisbee, and Cody Brown. Absolutely a wild race tonight. Cody Brown went out so early, but he does get credit for starting it, so that counts. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Let's run through our sponsor slides. We can pay the bills and make everybody happy. Wild Horse Broadcasting does our Monday Night ARCA series. Wannagoons does our Dirt series on Tuesday nights, as well as our starting lineups. We appreciate our partners there. Rolling on the next page, Arc Music does our Xfinity series every Tuesday night after the Dirt stuff, and then 712 Brakes does our CTC Cup series in the next gens on Wednesday. Thursday nights, we have Low Drag Esports and 712 Brakes putting on our truck series. Fort Worth Screen Printing, a longtime partner of ours, doing GT3 series every Friday night. Then we head over to the Super Speedway series. Gold Eagle helps us put that on, goldeaglesyrup.com. Then Evers Fever Podcast, as you watch here tonight on Sidecar Sundays, put together our broadcasting for Sunday. So appreciate all them. Big C's Diecast, giving away diecast all year long. Make sure you get over to our Discord and check out the links so you can get entered for free diecast giveaways. And then CTC Race Network puts on our Wednesday showcase. So we appreciate each and every one of you being here tonight. Thank goodness we made it through 200 laps of Atlanta. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was, actually. Pretty good time. Hope you enjoyed. Longer races on Sunday night in the Gen 6 Cup Series, presented by Evers Fever Podcast. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Thanks to all of our admins that help make things go around. Thanks to our race control, Matt Benke. And thanks to all of our drivers, all of our sponsors, all of our fans, and all of you. We appreciate you, and we'll see you back here next week. And that wraps up our YouTube. We're just Twitch stream. We'll go through all of our incidents. I think Max already sent